going to fire it up and crown the first ever Qwick Wick Firestarter Super Stock champion right here at Delaware Speedway on GeForce TV. Welcome race fans at Delaware Speedway near London, Ontario, where tonight we'll crown a Super Stock champion for the Qwick Wick Firestarter Super Stock Series. It's their first ever season, and the points couldn't be any tighter. The top four, only 9 points apart. It's going to be a big race with everything on the line. And this is where it all started, the big half-mile track at Delaware. Tonight I'll be joined with Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross. Clinton's roaming around in the pits right now.
Well, thanks, guys. It is a busy night back here, as you can imagine. Lots of stressed-out teams trying to work their way through this one to make sure they get the championship here in the Super Stock division. One guy on the move here, Trevor Culver. Trevor, you come into tonight as the point leader. How do you feel about your chances tonight?
Yeah, this is our home track. I got a lot of experience here at this track. We got a really good race car today. Earlier in practice, we were having some issues. We got them sorted out. We got a good hot rod, and driver's ready to go.
Nothing worrying you tonight?
Sorry?
Nothing worrying you yet?
Nothing worrying me. I'm just going to go out, run my race, do the best I can. We got a fast hot rod here. We got a lot of experience here, like I said, and I got a lot of confidence here, so we're ready to go out there and win that championship.
Trevor Culver knows his way around here, guys. Watch for the one car tonight to be a contender at the end of it all.
Delaware Speedway is the perfect place to end the Qwick Wick Super Stock Series. Just outside of London, Ontario, there's a couple of things we're going to talk about all night long. One of them is turn one, right behind me. The other is at the other end of the front straightaway, turn number 4. There is a lot of character here at this speedway. The front stretch walls on both sides of the racetrack. No lead is safe in the point standings, and I'm going to say anybody who is still mathematically in the points title chase is actually in the chase. We have seen things pop up and affect these drivers on the opening lap of these races. It's going to be an exciting one. We're glad you've tuned in to GeForce TV to catch it all.
When we return, it's time to decide a champion here at Delaware Speedway on GeForce TV.
Early man discovered fire, but Qwick Wick perfected fire. Qwick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Qwick Wick retailer at QwickWick.com.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave sausages and street dogs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Hey guys, Jose here at Queenston Chevrolet Buick GMC in our parts department. Welcome back to our car care series. So here at Queenston Chev, we offer genuine GM parts and accessories with the best parts warranty in the industry. We are fully stocked with brakes, tires, filters, wipers, and everything you will need for your vehicle. Our parts staff has years of experience that is here to help you get the parts you need. So this is the end of our third episode of our car care series. Please feel free to visit our dealership at any time. You can also give us a call at 905-528-7001 or visit us online at queenstonchev.com. Thank you.
Second brake job this year. The pads are falling apart. See that edge lift?
Yeah.
Causes brake noise.
It's not safe either.
No. So I'm installing these NRS equipped pads. They've got hundreds of steel hooks that bite into the pad and bond it to the plate. No more brake noise. And in 3 years, you'll still have a solid brake pad down there and not some rusted out pile of shit.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on G-Force TV.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him, that he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners, to no-drill mud flaps, to tech liner for your truck bed, to bump step, to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Foam keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at WeatherTech.ca.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Ribs. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Welcome to Delaware Speedway on G-Force TV for the Pinty's Fall Brawl Weekend. The championship on the line tonight for the Qwick Wick Firestarter Super Stock Series. We've got the Bone Stocks on the card as well tonight on G-Force TV. Of course, the Pinty Series on later tonight on TSN Go. And right now we've got our Clinton Jeffrey. He's busy down in the pit area. Clint, who you got?
Thanks, guys. We're just getting by with Lane Zardo. Lane, you got a busy night ahead of you. Second in points tonight, but you've been very confident this year. Can you make it through and come out with the championship?
Yeah, before they added in all these home track points, we had a pretty good lead. We just weren't able to get enough cars out at Sunset Speedway to be in competition once they did add the home track points. So I believe we're behind about 5 or 6 points. It's unfortunate that it doesn't matter how good I do. I gotta wait and see how good my competition does. But I think we're sitting pretty good. I believe we just set a new track record once again in practice. So these Bester. This Ford car is so unreal, and I cannot thank these guys enough for what they've done for me this season. Andy Schmidt, Brad Whittle, Kenny Grubb, Chuck Dorr, Dylan Murray. They've all worked their tails off, and you know what? Whether we can come out with a championship or not, there's nothing to hang our heads about. We've had the fastest car all year, and now we're just here to have some fun.
The always confident Lane Zardo guys will watch for him to get it done here tonight.
And Clint, to expand on what Lane Zardo was saying right there, the point structure for the Qwick Wick Super Stocks, Greg, the design was to run half the races that APC runs, but to promote home track races, to promote people to come to Delaware Speedway on a Friday night, Flamborough Speedway on a Saturday, or Sunset Speedway on a Saturday, or I believe Peterborough Speedway was part of the mix as well. So that's what Lane is talking about with the point structure and adding in home track points. So the challenge is, as a driver, you knew what the rules were. You knew what the procedures were. And it's no different than NASCAR home track points or when they had the old Lucas Oil Series, if you remember that. It's not that you play the system, but it does matter where you're racing. It matters how many cars come out.
Well, Adam, I got Dwayne Baker here. Dwayne, you come in tied for third in the points with Ray Morneau tonight. We were just talking about, is this a track you feel comfortable at?
No, not too comfortable, but we had a good race here. We finished fourth in the first one. We'll just see if we got a little bit better in qualifying here, see what happens.
All right, there's Dwayne Baker, guys. He is tied for third coming into tonight. We'll try and get over with Ray Morneau Jr. as well, but we're trying to get talking to the contenders. They seem pretty chill tonight, guys.
Yeah, Trevor Culver comes in as the leader, and he's got 2 wins, the most in the season so far. 2 top 5s and 4 top 10s. 5 points up on Lane Zardo, Ray Morneau, and Dwayne Baker. Tied for third with 9 points back. And Pete Vanderwees is sitting back there in fifth, only 15 points back. So it's a tight fight here tonight.
Well, Greg, I jumped in. I got Ray Morneau Jr. Ray, how do you feel here? Obviously, you like it here. You run very well your home track. Do you feel you can make the run you need tonight, maybe have the luck you need to come out as the Qwick Wick Super Stock champ tonight?
Yeah, I think we got a shot here. We're sitting 9 back from Trevor, and then Zardo, we're 6 back. So we're going to need a little bit of luck, but I think we'll be good. Joe Lawrence got this thing hooked up pretty good, so we'll see how qualifying goes here. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like you said, it's our home track, so that just gives a little incentive.
Anything you're worried about tonight, Ray?
Hoping it comes home clean here. We'll see how things go. Hopefully it's just a nice clean race and see where everybody shakes out and how the points work.
Good luck. There's Ray Morneau Jr.,
Clint?
guys. He comes into the points. Yeah, Adam, what do you got?
Don't let Ray get too far away.
Adam don't want me to get you too far away. Go ahead, Adam.
We see a lot of races at a lot of different racetracks. I want to know why we see so many Ray Morneau 03 hoodies and T-shirts around Ontario.
Adam says we race at all the tracks all over the place. He wants to know how come we see so many Ray Morneau Jr. 03 T-shirts and hoodies around the tracks.
Yeah, I got a lot of support. I can't thank everybody for getting the shirts and that. I really appreciate seeing the fans up there. It's neat to be able to look up in the stands and see all your shirts. It gives you a little bit more pumped up and gets you excited for the race.
Thanks, Ray. Jackie, come with me. We're going to jump in here and grab Garrett Timiersma, too. Garrett, you're just chilling out. You look pretty relaxed. Are you comfortable tonight, getting ready to go?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty ready to go. I mean, the car was a little bit slow in practice. We didn't have the speed that we wanted, but by the end of the run, I think we had a really drivable race car. It's going to be really good on the long runs. Don't look for me in qualifying to put up a blistering pace, but by the end of the race, I'll be at the front.
All right, Garrett. There's Garrett Timiersma and the 17-car guys. Watch for all these contenders tonight as they go for the Qwick Wick Super Stock Championship.
We tried to find different ways to get Garrett Timiersma involved, and he wants to do some broadcasting, and I think we'll have to get him in here because he does a great job, but he doesn't realize we're up here because we have to be, Greg. I'd rather be in his race car. So if he wants the job, just put a fat man seat in that race car.
We have no other talents, and we're barely talented at this, so that's why we're here. But Garrett does a great job behind the microphone, and I believe him completely. By the end of this race, we'll see that Wave Freight number 17 near the front, and he's been a factor at every event, had some hard luck at Sunset. And that's just the thing. The points battle's so tight, and I got thinking back to some of the mishaps that happened this year, and you think about Sunset that really jumbled up the points. You think about Trevor Culver winning the first race here and then finishing dead last to Peterborough. Anything can happen tonight. So being even, back 15, 20 points, you may have a shot. Now, you got to have more drivers have problems, but certainly those top four, it's anybody's race here tonight.
And one thing with the Qwick Wick Super Stocks, more so than even the APC Series, and we see a lot of it with the APC Series, it's very rare for a driver to make it through an entire race unscathed. You see a ton of turnover, a ton of drivers heading to the back for different situations, for getting involved in incidents, but not hurting the car too bad so they can go back and restart at the tail. Normally we get to the end and there's only maybe 2, maybe 3 cars that haven't been torn up or affected somehow. So you have to go the full distance and you have to never give up. That's what's going to lead to a championship.
And I think heading into tonight, maybe Trevor Culver's in the more difficult spot. We've talked about this during a race situation. When you're the leader, it's harder because you don't know how hard you can go. When you're Trevor, you're kind of trying to go for the win, but you also want to points race a bit here because you are the leader. If you're behind, it's just go for it. You've got no other choice.
And I'm going to disagree with you, Greg, because I enjoy it. But Trevor Culver has to go. Like, it is such a slim margin. You can't protect 5 points. You've got to go out there and get you some. Because if you let Culver is very, very fast here at Delaware. You've got to go out and run that fast. Because if you lay back a little bit, in my opinion, if you run conservative, you're going to get swallowed up by the angry mob and your championship will disappear.
Well, I'm not suggesting he runs conservative, but I'm thinking there might be a situation where he thinks, maybe I'll just wait till later in the race.
You're either the windshield or the bug. I think that's probably what goes through a butterfly's mind. Just as it's fluttering around in front of my car on a freeway, I've never seen a butterfly fly away. My grill eats them all.
Well, qualifying set to get underway here for the Qwick Wick Firestarter Super Stock Series, and Justin Collison looks to be the first driver out onto the racetrack. He's from Cambridge in the London Recreational Racing Grey Bar, Canada. Number 12C also out there, the number 2 car, and that's Doug Stewart out of London in the Rick Blake Auto Chevrolet. Corey McAllister out there in the black 71. He's from Durham, driving the Struck Energy Systems Elevated Workplace Safety 71. Kevin Trevelyan in the 19. He's from Windsor in the Shock Pros ATV Accessory and Parts. Kerry Morrison Realty, number 19. And Mike Weida, last time we saw him at Sunset Speedway, his night ended on the backstretch with a hard hit. He's from Bolton in the Ken Spin Limited, number 6.
And the other 171.
71X, Connor Van Steensel from London in the Kelsey's Hyde Park, Austin and Taylor Home Furnishings, 71X. So first group ready to take the green flag from starter Sean Gibbs. Group qualifying here for the final event of the Qwick Wick Firestarter Super Stock Series, the inaugural season. A lot of prizes on the line here tonight for the champion. Keep an eye on the times as the first lap goes down. And it's Kevin Trevelyan so far the quickest. About a 20.970 lap. Justin Collison second quick. Collison now to the top of the charts. Well, put Kevin Trevelyan. He does him one better as he crosses the stripe. 20.843. So the 12, the 19 right now are the two going back and forth on top of the scoring pylon.
And I think we'll see this throughout qualifying. These tires need some temperature to get faster and faster. This was the first lap that Collison slowed down, but guess who didn't? Doug Stewart. He goes to the top of the board.
Yeah, 20.811, so he'll get the better of Kevin Trevelyan as the checkered flag comes out. I'll make that the white flag final time around for these drivers. Stewart still the time to beat. No one picks up any time that lap. Well, yeah, Justin Collison picked up just a little bit. He's still third fast. As now the checkered flag displayed. Collison won't do any better. It looks like Doug Stewart will end up the fastest in this group. 20.811 over Kevin Trevelyan, Justin Collison, Corey McAllister, Mike Weida, and Connor Van Steensel. Second group heads out onto the racetrack. Paul Boundy out of Grafton in the 08. Behind him, had a great run going at Sunset Speedway until the late going, and actually rallied with a fairly heavily damaged car. He's the driver out of Hamilton, Ontario, in the Ottawa Auto Body, Napa Auto Parts 10C, Dennis Cebulski.
45 is up next.
That is Ryan Bright out of Petrolia, the Lifeline Inventory Express number 45. Paul Pepper, always a beautiful looking car out of North Bay, Ontario, the Humberview Parts.ca, Action Utility Trailers 29, Paul Pepper. And Roy Wilkie lines up behind him. He's out of Kincardine in the Bester Forest Products 4, number 33.
Paul Pepper actually sent me a note to thank us for the nice things we say about how his car looks. But race fans, I'm going to put this back to you. And I mean no disrespect to any of the cars on the racetrack, but one of them is show car ready every time it hits the racetrack, and that's Paul Pepper. That car is beautiful. It is a showpiece.
And he's had some nights where he had to go home and do a whole lot of work to be ready to go for the next event. Still looking just as sexy as you say, Adam.
Well, you know.
So the field under the green flag for this second time trial session. Dennis Cebulski to the top of the charts by a tenth of a second.
He laid down a big lap that opening lap. Paul Pepper up to 6th. Wow, Dennis Cebulski just stormed past all the drivers in group number 1. Now we're starting to see these drivers close in. Paul Boundy up to 4th. Cebulski a little bit slower on his second lap.
Pepper third quick. Now Wilkie jumps up to third quick. 20.818. Paul Boundy, top of the charts, 20.694.
No, that's Cebulski, 20.694. He knocked Boundy off.
Oh, he did too. Yeah, just as I was looking, it changed. So Bounty to second, though, with a 20.769.
You are correct, sir.
Now.
Happens once in a while. 20.639 the time to beat. Dennis Zabalski just went a little bit quicker. Ryan Bright jumps up to third. Paul Pepper knocks Bright down one. So right now it's Zabalski, Bounty, Pepper, Bright, Doug Stewart, and Roy Wilkie. Bounty goes a bit slower. Let's see. Zabalski goes a little bit slower. Is anybody able to pick up time in their final lap? Ryan Bright does not. And Paul Pepper, he goes quicker. Second quick by 3/100ths of a second.
So Zabalski, Pepper, Bounty, and Bright, the top four. And they're all in that group that we just saw qualified. Doug Stewart from the first group, still fifth fastest. And it's Roy Wilkie, Kevin Trevelyan, Justin Collison, Corey McAllister, Mike Weida, and Connor Van Steensel. Third group out onto the racetrack. Race winner at Peterborough Speedway from Mount Hope in the Queenston Chevrolet Graphic Marketing Solutions. Number 93 is Carson Nagy. Nick Troback's back there in the 73. He's from Hamilton, the Alexander Glassendor Chevrolet. There's one of the contenders, Dwayne Baker, the bully. Out of Stainer, Ontario, the Nisco National Leasing GD Coat Superstore Chevrolet number 48. And right behind him, he had a win last year up at Sauble Speedway here on G-Force TV out of Allenford in the Elmer's Fighting Supply. Flighting Supply, not Fighting Supply, Adam. It's flighting. Big difference. Ron Pringle Electric. Number 30, Todd Davenport, and Ethan Constable also out there in the number 11. He's from Barrie in the Lefroy Plumbing, Lindbray Farms Chevrolet. If you're fighting while you're flighting, you're in trouble.
I normally say it right, and then I look back, like I stop and look, wait, what's that? I read what's on the teleprompter, Greg, and then afterwards I might reconsider.
First lap for Carson Nagy, second quick. He had a short night at Sunset in our previous event. Todd Davenport now second quick, and he's on the heels of Dennis Zabalski.
Nagy leapfrogs over Davenport. New fast time. It's Todd Davenport in the 30. Ethan Constable up to the top 5, Greg.
And Dwayne Baker up to 4th.
New fast time. It's Carson Nagy. His third lap was quicker than Davenport's third lap.
Davenport can't top him that time by. Constable still back there in 5th. Nagy won't pick up any on that lap.
You know, it's funny. We watched Dennis Zabalski do this same thing at Sunset. He went out in an earlier group but was able to hang around that top 5. I don't think he'll be able to hang out here for as long as he did. Todd Davenport to the top of the charts, a 20.536.
Nagy comes across the stripe, second quick. Davenport might have one more try here as Troback and Baker do as well. Baker third fastest. And Ethan Constable can do no better than 5th. So Todd Davenport the fastest in the 30. Carson Nagy in the 93 second quick. Dwayne Baker, one of the points contenders coming into tonight. He's third fastest. Dennis Zabalski still up there in 4th. Ethan Constable 5th. Paul Pepper 6th. Paul Bounty 7th. Nick Troback 8th, 9th. Ryan Bright 10th. Doug Stewart.
And remember, they have a magic formula, Greg, for qualifying and setting the lineup for the feature event. So you want to be in the top 10. Then the formula kicks in and does the rest of the magic. But make sure you're in the top 10 and you'll start in the top 10.
And that's where it played into Dennis Zabalski's favor last week. Qualified in the top 10, ended up on the front row. And was very strong in the early going before problems, rallied for a nice top 10 finish.
He was hard to pass.
He really was. Really was. Held his own. Here's Ray Morneau Jr. tied with Dwayne Baker for the third spot in points. He's from Windsor in the Iron Mike Industries, Reed Farm Chevrolet. Right behind him, Garrett Teemersma in the Way Freight Mustang. He's out of Newmarket, Ontario. Also the 07 is Nick Ramsey from St. Thomas, the APC Auto Parts Center, Radar Auto Parts Chevrolet. The number 9, Andrew Ferreira of Strathroy. McRoberts Fuel Damon Optimal Health Team, number 9. If I'm not mistaken, the Delaware champion for the Super Stocks 2021. And also out there, the 8, Jason Parker out of Port Elgin in the Mowbray's Canadian Tire, K&K Lawn Care, number 8. Teemersma.
New fast time.
Yeah, Garrett Teemersma to the top of the charts, 20.493. Nick Ramsey right now, third fastest. Ray Morneau, fifth quick. Jason Parker to the top of the charts. He's sideways through 1 and 2.
$20.408 the time they are chasing. Nick Ramsey got it with a 4:02. 6/1000ths of a second puts Nick Ramsey to the top.
Morneau, fourth fastest.
Garrett Teemersma second, so he picked up a couple thousandths of a second there.
He's 4/1000ths of a second behind Nick Ramsey right now.
And 2,000ths ahead of Jason Parker as Ray Morneau was just bouncing off the chip at the start-finish line.
White flag out, final time around for these drivers. Jason Parker still third fastest. Ray Morneau just set his quickest lap, makes him fourth, 20.437.
So right now, Dwayne Baker, the points leader, is 8th quickest. We still have a number of cars to come out. Well, 5.
He's tied for third.
Oh, right. I'm
Trevor
sorry.
Culver is the points leader, but he's tied for third with Ray Morneau.
I had one job.
Final group, I believe this will be. Coming down to the racetrack. Second place in points. The driver to Brampton, Ontario, the Bester Forest Products Ford. That's Lane Zardo. Pete Vanderweest, he comes in fifth place in the standings in the VP Specialized Carriers Pro Waste Solutions number 7. Sean Chenoweth joins us tonight. He's from Plattsville in the WMI London Recreational Racing 89C. And there is the points leader. He's from Lucan in the Inventory Express Lubricants Carter Trucking Chevrolet. Number 1, Trevor Culver. And the Rookie of the Year here at Delaware Speedway in 2021 out of Elmer. In the Douglas Windows and Door APC Auto Parts Center, number 28, Ryan Dyson.
Ryan Dyson's had his share and more of bad luck in 2021. Glad that he won Rookie of the Year honors because he paid for it.
Yeah, they had a lot of work between here at Delaware on Friday nights and getting to those Qwick Firestarter Super Stock Series events. The back half of the season was a rough go, but they rallied and held on for Rookie of the Year honors here, and he's got a quick car here tonight, obviously being in this final group.
So Lane Zardo chose to give away his first lap. This is going to be a really slow opening lap for Lane Zardo, but he's given himself a lot of clean racetrack between himself and Ryan Dyson. Pete Vanderweest was up on the throttle right away. He is up to speed, but he may close in on the back end of Zardo.
Field under the flag and 20.230 the point leader. Trevor Culver to the top of the board. Now it's Lane Zardo, does one better, 20.113.
So points contender Dwayne Baker's been knocked out of that top 10. Sean Chenoweth up into the top 10. Trevor Culver second quick, running comparable laps to Lane Zardo, but Zardo's 20.113 is impressive.
Pete Vanderweest, fifth overall coming into tonight. He's third fastest right now, that number 7 as he works down the back stretch. Culver Can't pick up anything on that lap. Still trailing. Lane Zardo by 4/100ths. Well, it's going to be even farther now.
Ryan Dyson jumps up into the 9th spot, gets himself up into the inversion.
Lane Zardo, 20.014 on that 4th lap. He won't do any better on his final trip across the stripe. See if Trevor Culver or Sean Chenoweth can knock him off. Well, Culver improved, but not enough, so he's second quickest with 1 car left. Dyson will slot in the 9th spot. So Lane Zardo quickest, 20.014 over Trevor Culver, 20.130. Pete Vanderwees, Nick Ramsey, Garrett Teemersma, Jason Parker, Sean Chenoweth, Ray Morneau, Ryan Dyson, and Andrew Ferreira, the top 10 in qualifying. Todd Davenport, 11th. Carson Nagy, 12th. 13th, Dwayne Baker. 14th, Dennis Sabalski. 15th, Ethan Constable. 16th will be Paul Pepper. Then it's Paul Boundy, Nick Troback, Ryan Bright, and Doug Stewart, the top 20. And then 21st through 25th are Roy Wilkie, Kevin Trevelyan, Justin Collison, Corey McAllister, Mike Weida. And then it will be Connor Van Steensel as the 26th car in the qualifying order. So we'll see these Qwick Wick Firestarter Super Stocks a little bit later on with their main event to settle the championship battle here at Delaware Speedway. Bone Stocks on the card as well. We see them lined up over in the infield as they get set for their feature event in a few moments.
And folks, we're so glad you could join us tonight at Delaware Speedway. And if you looked around during your drive in, thank goodness for about the 10 feet of elevation this property has compared to the properties adjacent to it, Greg. They are underwater. Not a little bit of water. They're under a lot of water.
A lot of water, especially coming up the 402 near Colonel Talbot Road. There was a golf course right there, and I go to a golf course and spend a lot of time in the water. I wouldn't have a chance at this one. Every hole, every fairway was drowned.
Well, guys, we got the pole sitter here, Lane Zardo. Hollywood getting the helmet off here in this number 36 car. Lane, you showed some confidence early. You went to the top of the board there. You only got one more thing to do here tonight. Can you get it done?
Yeah, where did the 1 car qualify?
Second.
Oh, right. Yeah, so we just got to, it's not up to how good we do in the future. It's unfortunately up to how hopefully stuff doesn't work out for him as good as it does for me. And I mean, you'd hate to wish that on another driver, but when the points are this close, that's the only way that we're able to get it done. So all we can do now is let Jesus take the wheel and go out there, run as hard as we can, and prove why we deserve to be there.
Good luck, Lane. Lane Zardo, your pole sitter here tonight for the Qwick Wick Super Stocks, guys.
Yeah, that mustache might be good for a couple tenths of a second, but it doesn't help other people have worse luck. And unfortunately for Lane, that's what he's going to rely on with the number of points they have. He knows how tight it is. It is going to be a heck of a show tonight.
That's why we race the races. Anything can happen when all is said and done, and by the end of the night, we'll see who is the 2021 champion. As the Bone Stocks now get lined up over in the infield, and they are set to go with their feature event. I believe we're going to bring in Jamie and Jordan here in a moment to call the action.
Is it their feature that they run first, or do they have some qualifying, Jamie? I'm not even sure. So what we had planned to do, I am going to get off my headset and give it to young Jordan.
Sorry, was that out loud?
Choke on it. Greg is going to be joined by the Maudsleys, and I am going to go enjoy some racing and listen to your call.
25 laps will be the distance for the Bone Stocks here. As we do a little dance here in the tower to get Adam out of the way. That's no small feat. All right, so you can grab Adam's headset, and good luck with that because Adam sweats. You know, Clint will attest to this. All that standing water that's around the area right now, that's what the booth looks like at the end of the night here.
We got Pete Vanderwees. Pete, welcome back here to V8 Racing, but third in time trials. How do you feel about that?
Pretty confident. I mean, we only got 16 laps in practice. We had a brake issue, and we changed the calipers and the brake pads in the front, and we still got the same issue in qualifying. So I think we have to change the master cylinders right now. So we've got a bunch of work ahead of us to try and get the car comfortable so that we can get into the corner and get rotated and get off the corner again. But other than that, I mean, the VP Transportation, Pro Waste, McCall Racing Enterprises, Stan's Total Tire, and Telville Windows car, and Best Safety Training car was fast in practice. So we're hoping to have a good 50 laps for tonight.
He hit them all, guys. He's got some work to do. They're going to pop the hood on this and put a new master cylinder in and go to work on the brake system. Greg, back to you guys up in the tower.
All right, Jamie, we got you. Is your microphone working? Has Spencer turned you back on?
I think we're good to go.
There we go. I can hear you now. Jordan, Jamie?
Yep, I'm good to go as well.
There we go. So Bone Stocks are lined up over the infield, and this is now they're crowning a champion tonight. Is that correct? Points still on the line?
We are going to crown a champion tonight. Now, Chris Lawrence does come into tonight with a very healthy 27-point lead over Jordan Wilms. So Chris Lawrence just has to survive here tonight. But if you know anything about Chris Lawrence surviving, that's not on the docket. He's going to the front here tonight.
And with such a big lead, I mean, first of all, most people would just play this safe, but Chris Lawrence, obviously, he's going for the win every time he comes out. The other thing to note is he did have some difficulties during practice, so just watch that as the race goes on.
And think about Chris Lawrence, he brings a bucket load of cars here every night, 5, 6 of them some nights. we literally have a announcer liaison on his team that gives us the text every night. Hey, this guy's in this car, this guy's in this car, this girl's in this car, because we just never know from night to night. Actually, from race to race, even, Greg.
They don't by chance come in a car hauler, do they?
No,
that would be ideal.
He's working on that. He's got. I think if he borrows a couple stackers and fits the Bone Stock sideways, he can get them all in one trailer.
Yeah, he's going to need them about 3 high.
Now I've seen Bone Stocks, otherwise known at other tracks, Pure Stocks, at different racetracks, but they're usually smaller tracks. This has to be an intense bit of racing for these drivers in the high-speed Delaware Speedway.
It is pucker time in a 4-cylinder Sunfire, let me tell you. You know, these guys are easily wheeling these things 120 kilometers down in the corner. And when you get there, you got to hang a left. So all these cars most of them were just driven on the street till recently. A lot of these guys will buy these cars, drive them around for a couple months to make sure they're mechanically sound, and then put a roll cage in and off we go.
That's quite the setup there. So we're going to see them go, and 25 laps the distance here as well tonight. And there are a slew of cars here tonight for the Bone Stocks. Do you have a total or not yet?
A lot. There's
hey,
a
that's
bunch
good.
of them here. Yeah,
that's good with me.
We saw some extra cars out here tonight that we haven't seen before, so always good to see some of the folks come traveling down here. And I got to put a big shout out to my girl Steph in the beer tent. Her first ever time to Delaware Speedway, and she got to the right spot. She went right to the beer tent for a nice cold Bud Latte.
Welcome to the racetrack. This is a big weekend here at Delaware Speedway, and for you as home track announcer, got to be a lot of excitement for you. But at the same end, it's always sad when the biggest events at the end of the year.
You always get those tears walking up the hill for the last time, you know. And definitely, the place that, Jordan grew up here, basically. I grew up here, and, a little sadness every year when you leave the place. But, by about December, you're chomping at the bit to get back to the racetrack.
I don't know about sadness. I took a look to the right outside the tower here, and there are more people here than I think I've seen in probably at least 5 years.
Nice. Yeah, I know when we were here in July, an excellent crowd. And talk about that, what you saw this year at Delaware, because last year was a tough year for everybody, and to come back, we really, I think, all appreciate what we lost last year, and it just seems every racetrack's seen great crowds.
Well, you keep track of the weather at other tracks. I know there's a lot of tracks that suffered on Saturdays this year. Yeah, every single Friday night we had good weather. I believe the third night of racing, the 1 week in July, got rained out. But other than that, and I'll tell you that the fans, Greg, that have been here every night, I mean, it's been dynamite to see them all. And the product that these guys have put on the track this year, second to none. That's why you see all these people here. And, of course, Sunday, I call this the bloodthirsty factor. Sunday, we're King of the Hill for $2,000, folks. I don't know if there's any spots left, but they were only taking 64 registered drivers.
Wow.
$50 to get in, and that's what the late model feature is going to pay tomorrow night, I think. I was talking about that with one of the drivers. So what do you guys get to win a late model feature? He's about that much, yep. So King of the Hill on Sunday is going to be something else. I've already heard of some guys trying to talk their wives into letting them bring the Corvettes out and letting them. I heard Gary Adrianson, he's got a new Camaro. He might be out soon. And I believe Gary Adrianson actually behind the wheels of the pace car here this evening. So we've had a revolving wheel of fortune on who gets to drive the pace car here every night. We've seen Bones. We put a Bone Stock driver behind the wheel of a pace car, if you can believe it, one night, Greg. So there's our Discount Auto Part Depot and Supply pace vehicle here tonight, painted up to look a lot like Jesse Kennedy's livery. Jesse, one of the owners over there at Discount Auto Part Depot and Supply, the title sponsor for our Bone Stock division. There you see that Highbury Ford pace car. Looks like we got the Starretts on the front row, the 88 and the 89. 88's Katie Starrett, the 89 Bonnie Sue Starrett. The 12 machine will be rolling from third spot. That is El Diablo, the Fighting Chicken, Joe Kick. The 26, Nathan Rhea, one of our championship contenders. He's been a fast guy all year long. Look at that, the pace car's to the backstretch, and we still haven't got all the bone stocks out. Nathan Rhea in the 26, the 21, C. Jason Lovey. The 1 is Sean Fusil. The 77, the Electric Pumpkin of Brett Pelly. The 50, it's a BT racing car. That's all I can tell you. I believe
Phil Gibbons
we got, in that one. The liaison hasn't been on her game here tonight. A lot of stuff going on. 73, Jordan Morris. I heard he was feeling under the weather today. Might have had something to do with the boot scoot and boogie last night. The 03, Matt Langford out of London. He's won a couple features this year. The 34, Dan Story at Ingersoll. And I got to put a call out to Dan Story. He's been at this a few years, and he has found some speed this year. He has really elevated his program, and it's become evident every single Friday night. The 92 is Jordan Wilms. He is one of your championship contenders. He's at second in points behind the 28 of Chris Lawrence. I believe we got the 6 after that. It looks like a 22. I think there's a 6 over it. We're going to have to go to the roster. Jay Cox behind the wheel of the 00. The 07, Jack Dixon. Yeah, they do have the side of the 6 on that side of the red car. The 59, Cassie Howard. 44 is Owen Martin. The 11, that's the Magic Man. He's teammates with El Diablo, Robert Wollaston. The 25, Adam Genero. 69 is Mitch Rawlings. The 24, Thomas McKinley. Then you got Stan Cook back there. Pete Vanderwish Jr. in the 7. He's already passing cars off turn 4. And green's in the air, 25 laps of Bone Stock Racing. Get him 3 wide going into 1, folks.
Lovey on the inside. He makes his way into the top 5 early. They're 3 wide further back in the pack. Starrett makes it 4 wide.
How about Jay Cox? Jay Cox in that 00 blasting down the inside. He's picked up a bunch of spots. It's only a matter of time before he finds his way to victory lane. He's been impressive here in his rookie campaign.
You missed one when you were running them down. Craig Cole in that 55. I believe that's the 4th different car he's driven this year. Still 3 wide, working their way through 1 and 2. Out front, Nathan Rhea has squirted into the lead. Sean Fusil runs second. To his left, Lovey takes a look to the inside.
Jason Lovey in that 21. C. Chewin on the left rear quarter panel of the 1 of Sean Fusil. That's the battle for second. That's happening a couple car lengths behind Nathan Rhea. They get strung out behind that. Brett Pelly goes 4th. Then 5th is the 50 of Givens. Then you've got the 92 of Wilms. He's able to bypass a bunch of cars. And watch for Chris Lawrence to come blasting through as well. Wilms has to win by a lot of spots to win the title here tonight.
Here comes Lovey. He makes contact. Shoves Rhea up to the top. Looks like Rhea's still going to have the advantage at the line by about half a car length. Lovey has advantage. He's on the inside as they work through 1 and 2. Going to bring Fusil with him. Lovey's going to complete the pass there side by side for second.
How about Phil Givens? He's rolling the top side back there for 4th. Him and the Electric Pumpkin going at it down in 3 and 4. Pelly on the bottom. Givens up top. Rhea now shot up out of the groove by the one of Fusil. And here comes Fusil on the bottom, bidding for second.
Your top 6 have started to pace themselves out from the field. Still the battle raging on for second. Fusil all over the back bumper of Rhea.
Well, Craig Cole trying to find some speed in that new look 55 here tonight. Totally different car. He's going after Langford, who's got a couple feature wins on the season. Jordan Morris right in front of them. So a bunch of feature winners there racing all together from 6th or 7th on back. A whole gaggle of them. And brakes are locked up by Langford. He manages to hold off Cole for the time being. They're battling up front for second, Jordan.
How about Jason Lovey, though? He took the lead. He walked away. He's about 10 car lengths on this battle for second. That's Fusil and Rhea still raging on as they work their way onto the front stretch. 6 laps complete in this 25-lap feature.
Set the field for you. Lovey out front. Rhea runs second. Fusil in third. Then is the 50 of Givens. The 92 of Wilms in fifth. Brett Pelly 6th. Now Langford 7th. 8th Morris. 9th is Craig Cole. Jay Cox runs 10th. And your point leader back in 11th. That's Chris Lawrence, the Cowboy.
Jordan Morris further up in a 4-car battle right now. I believe that's for
Yellow.
7th.
Oh, it flipped yellow. The lights went yellow momentarily, but back to green. And everything looks okay. Lovey now opening it up. He's got about a quarter of a straightaway on Rhea and in some heavy lap traffic off turn 2.
Best battle here is for 6th right now, led by Jordan Morris. He leads 5 cars right behind him. Langford, Pelly, Craig Cole, Jay Cox is in there, all battling for position on the track.
9 down. Really 10 this time by for your leader, the 21C Jason Lovey out of Woodstock. Again, he was a winner opening night, also won a few weeks ago. So he's been to victory lane a few times here this year. Trying to make it number 3 in that 21C. Working around Cassie Howard now down into 1.
So far, probably the cleanest bone stock race we've seen all season. All your leaders working through lap traffic.
Phil Givens on the move now. He's 4th. Right behind Sean Fusil and putting the heat on the one of Fusil. Remember, a couple laps ago we saw Fusil battling away with Nathan Rhea. But Rhea able to get away in that 26 machine. He's left Fusil and Givens to battle it out for 3rd off turn 2.
He's got a lot of ground to make up. A full half a straightaway behind your leader, Jason Lovey, as they work their way off turn 4.
Fusil works to the outside of Cassie Howard, brings the 50 of Givens with him. The 92 of Wilms sitting right there as well, and he's got a whole mirror full of the 73 of Jordan Morris down into 3. Couple of good battles going on. Hey, those 2 guys running 3rd and 4th. Yellow out now, red flag out now. So apparently we've got a fire. We thought we had a fire underneath the 5 car down in turn 4. As he was going Ricky Bobby down there.
Yeah, Jamie, I was watching the car go by, and it looked like there was an orange light going under, and then we saw some sparks fall from what we thought was the orange light. And I was just about to call up to the camera crew when we went red. So, yeah, there was a fire under the 5 car.
That's Hank Klassen as he climbs out of his vehicle.
I remember years ago we had a guy here that used to run some neon yellow lights, neon orange lights underneath the bottom of his bone stock. Well, the first time he went to Flamborough, he ended up causing a red flag because they thought he was on fire. It's like, no, that's there by design, and they told him, you better shut those off or you won't be racing anymore.
Yeah, poor choice of color, I think.
So an interesting bone stock here race to get started, and for Jason Lovey, not the caution that he wanted to see.
So we're going to have a look at it down. Oh, you can see the fire up on the front stretch wall cam for those watching at home. And if you're in the stands here, if you got your mobile device, you can go to GeForceTV.net or just go to YouTube, look up GeForce, and you can catch all those replays. But we had a shot of the 5-car going by the wall cam, and here we'll have another look at it as the barbecue lights up.
He was definitely on fire. It's a tough break for that 5.
Going to get him pushed down into the pits and restart this one with 13 laps to go.
Hey, if you're looking for a bone stock, you can see front and center that 26 car's got a big for sale sign on it, and it's a good one. I mean, it's running second right now. So you see the lead lap cars assembling at the front of the field. So to set the field for you, 21 of Lovey, the 26 of Rhea, the 1 of Fusil, the 50 of Givens, 92 of Wilms. He is 5th. 6th is Jordan Morris in the 73. 7th is Matt Langford in the 03. 8th is the 55 of Craig Cole. 9th, Jay Cox in the 00. Your point leader, Chris Lawrence, now up into the top 10 in that 28 machine. 11th is the 07 of Dixon. Dixon having a good rookie season. So that gets you all the way back to 11th spot. 77 of Brett Pulley runs 12th. 13th is Dan Story. 14th, Chris French in the 95. Joe Kicks, El Diablo in 15th. Pete Vanderwas Jr. 16th. Thomas McKinley 17th. Katie Strett 18th. Josh Flanagan in the 18 is 19th. You got the 74 of Stan Cook in 20th. The Magic Man Robert Williston 21st. Shane Gibson 22nd. Mitch Rawlings 23rd. Alex Stewart 24th and 1 lap down. So as your first lap down car, that 18 of Stewart, the Hammer. So just getting your lead lap cars at the front of the pack. Just waiting on Starrett to get going, as well as Josh Flanagan, Stan Cook also on the lead lap. The Magic Man in the 11 with a beautiful Old Spice paint scheme. And it looks like they got most of the lead lap cars to the front. So the field getting doubled up. Going to let them loose. We're halfway through this one. Again, these are all 4-cylinder cars. You've got such exotic manufacturers and such exotic models out here as your Nissan Sentra, your Chevrolet Cavalier, your always in demand Pontiac Sunfires, some Chevy Cobalts out there. We've seen somebody run a Toyota Supra before. Stan Cook, he's carrying the Honda banner in that 74 Civic. It's a lot of different manufacturers represented here. Seems like the popular car of choice, that Cavalier Sunfire platform, as well as they seem to like those Nissan Sentras. That 21C, that's a Sentra out front. Jason Lovey in that 21C. He'll wheel it into one. Takes the advantage over Nathan Rhea. And off two, they fired. Rack stocked and packed behind your leaders.
Gets loose. He recovers as they work through 3 and 4 now. Out front, your leader, Jason Lovey. He's built up a 4-car length lead already. Behind him, Nathan Rhea chasing. Everybody else scrambling for position.
And I wonder if that 73 did some damage that time into the wall. You see him push like a dump truck coming off the corner, almost put it up in the fence again.
Seal on the inside. Right behind him, he's got Langford and Wilms as they all work their way off 4 on the front stretch.
Into one. Battle on for third. You got Fusil on the inside. You got Givens on the outside. Then Langford and Wilms stacked beside or behind them double wide. And Fusil's going to take the advantage there.
Langford, he tucks it in line. He restarted 8th, worked his way all the way up to 5th. He gets a little contact with Jordan Wilms. Wilms was unhappy with the pass. Langford will squeeze on by for 5th.
Now here comes Jay Cox. You may have heard of his dad. He's got I don't know how many championships here. Oh, Wilms just moved Langford right up the speedway, and they're all going to go flying by the 03.
We talked about Langford making up all those positions. He's dropped back to 9th now. A gaggle of cars right in front of him. Out front, it is still Jason Lovey by 10 car lengths. Nathan Rhea's got another 15 back to Sean Fusil.
Fusil sideways there through 1 and 2. Givens right on his bumper. How about Jay Cox? A nifty little run up into 5th spot. Craig Cole doing battle with Wilms down in 3 and 4 for 6th.
They all cycle onto the front stretch. Again, your front 2 have stretched out from the rest of the field. Everybody kind of stacked up behind them as they work their way into 1.
Givens took a peek to the inside of the 1 of Fusil for 3rd spot, unable to get it done. He's going to get back in line. Less than 10 to go. Your leaders through 3 and 4. It's Lovey, Rhea, and then a long ways back till this Hornet's Nest for 3rd.
Right behind this battle for 2nd, we've got a battle raging on for 7th right now. Those 2 have gotten together already in this race. That's Langford on the inside and Wilms on the outside as they work through 1 and 2. Langford's got the advantage.
Langford gets a spot. Meanwhile, up for 3rd. They're going to go 2 well. I thought about going 3 wide. Jay Cox thought better of it. He'll get in line behind the 50. Out of turn 4. Will Givens be able to pull off the pass on Fusil? How about Fusil? Good drive, high, wide, and handsome off the corner to keep 3rd spot for now.
Make a 3 wide, thought better of it and backed out. He's just going to watch these 3 go at it and pick a lane. Looks like he's going to go high as this is the battle for 3rd. They work their way through 3 and 4.
I am convinced these 4 cars are going to go 3 wide. I just don't know when.
Here comes Craig Cole on the inside.
Right now. Cole down to the bottom. He's going to get to the left side of Givens. How about Jay Cox on the high side? Going to pull off another move here on the outside down into 3 and 4 with 5 to go. Call it 4 at the line for your leader, Jason Lovey.
You see it, Jay Cox racing for 3rd. Craig Cole all over the back bumper of Sean Fusil, pushing him down the front stretch into turn 1.
Into 1 they work again. Fusil on the bottom. Cox up top. They run 3rd. Quite a ways behind Nathan Rhea. Now Craig Cole going to stick his nose in there. He's going to make a bid for that 3rd spot.
Finally, Jay Cox able to squeeze his way into 3rd and lock up that position for now. Behind him, he's got Fusil, Cole, and the 50 all raging on. That's Phil Givens as they work on developing 4th now.
How about Jay Cox and that 00 up to 3rd? Going to be 2 to go at the line this time by for your leader. Into 1 works Steve Lovey with a comfortable half straightaway lead over Nathan Rhea. 3rd is Cox. 4th is Fusil. 5th, Craig Cole. 6th is Givens. 7th is Jordan Wilms. 8th is Langford. Race on for 9th now down the backstretch. It was a 3-way scramble. French in there as well as Vanderwist and Jordan Morris. Through some heavy lap traffic come the Bone Stocks racing for that top 10 spot down the front stretch. Meanwhile, down the back stretch for the final time. It's Jason Lovey into turn 3, coming to the checkered flag.
Works his way through 3 and 4, getting around ground lap traffic. Jason Lovey going to come home with his first win of the season in that 21C. Second, Nathan Rea. What a season for him. Jay Cox is going to wind up third. Sean Fusil brings it home fourth, and Phil Gibbons is going to round out your top 5.
Good run for Gibbons, the guest driver. And again, for Jason Lovey, I believe that is feature win number 3 on the season. He was a victor opening night and then won just a couple weeks ago. So he will be going to victory lane for his 3rd time on the season. And joining him in victory lane will be the champ, Chris Lawrence. Lawrence will capture a Bone Stock Championship here tonight.
No small feat, no matter what division, to be a champion, Jamie. It takes a lot of work, a lot of hours that we don't see through the entire offseason, then during the season as well, and to be fast, consistent, and get a championship is a big thing, and he's going to celebrate down here on the front stretch.
Especially in a 40-car field. That makes it even sweeter.
He's going to burn it down. That's impressive. It's that time of year anyway. It's time to put snow tires on, so burn down the race tires. My word.
There's Jason Lovey out of the car, ladies and gentlemen. Another feature on the year for the 21. He came in tonight 9th in points, will definitely move up after this victory. He's got the Canadian flag down there because, of course, it is Great Canadian Weekend. We'll throw it down to victory lane. Clint Jeffries down there with our feature winner, Jason Lovey.
Jason Lovey, what a great drive for you tonight. You got to be super happy. You got it done here in front of this great crowd tonight.
Oh, thanks. It's been a real long road to get here this year. It's been a tough one. This car is. We won the first one coming out, and then we fought. They added a little weight to us, and actually they added a lot of weight, and it's taken me a long time to figure out how to get this baby to turn with all that weight. But the last couple of weeks we found it, we got it, and we're here. This is where we want to be.
Who do you want to thank?
I want to thank my wife, Cheryl Ann. I'd like to thank Chris for being here. My man Derek Musker's around here somewhere. At 11 o'clock this morning, this transmission was on the ground. There was no clutch, there was no drive shaft, there was nothing on this car. Me and Derek pounded this thing together, got it on a trailer, and bang, here we are. So thanks to Derek, thanks to Sterling for being here. Q and Lou, Gracie and Hill, Delaware. I want to say thanks to everybody here at Delaware for coming out tonight. Luke Ramsey, Russ, and believe it or not, I'm even going to say thanks because it's the last chance I get to thank Daryl and Donnie and the tech. I might not thank him in a little bit, but I'm going to thank him right now.
Jason Lovey gets it done, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get out of your way and we'll work over here to talk with the champ if we can quickly, Spence. Chris, come on over here and talk to us. We got the champ here. Chris, you got it done. You got to be super happy we saw. I don't think your car's happy the way you treat it, but that was a heck of a celebration.
The car owes me a little something. I think we've had some motor issues for a while, so I had no problem roasting those tires off. I got to say, huge shout out to my crew, my better half Penny, for making this season possible. We ran a rental car program all season. It went way better than I thought it was going to go. We had 4 cars here tonight. They were able to run all season. And so big thanks to my crew, everybody back here that's been here helping me out all year. My mom for all her support. The sponsors, so Dad's for sponsoring not only my cars, but the division. I've got Race for Trades, Inside Track, Pine Valley Minute Lube, Kaniski Manufacturing, KPH Photography, Wilds Printing, London Tire Sales. I know there's some others on here that I'm definitely missing. Pete's Restoration Repair. All the officials here, the new owners group. You guys are doing a huge thing coming in here, and I can't wait to see what happens with this track. So it was really good And consistency pays off. I had to bring my own checker flag because I haven't got one all year.
Nice job. That's it from trackside, guys. We'll turn it up to you to wrap up the Bone Stocks, boys.
Thanks, Clint. When we return, the Qwick Wick Firestarter Super Stock Series will line things up on the front stretch, get set to crown a champion here at Delaware Speedway on GeForce TV.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him if he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners to no-drill mud flaps to tech liner for your truck bed to bump step to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Phone keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at weathertech.ca.
Second brake job this year. The pads are falling apart. See that edge lift?
Yeah.
Causes brake noise.
It's not safe either.
No. So I'm installing these NRS equipped pads. They've got hundreds of steel hooks that bite into the pad and bond it to the plate. No more brake noise. And in 3 years, you'll still have a solid brake pad down there and not some rusted out pile of shit.
This GeForce TV broadcast is brought to you by WeatherTech Custom Cut Floor Mats and Vehicle Accessories. Visit them online at weathertech.ca. Pinty's, making great food fun.
I just don't know.
Back live at Delaware Speedway for the final round of the Qwick Wick Firestarter Super Stock Series. There we see the cars all gathered up down in corner number 4. I'm Greg Kellman. Joining me, Adam Ross, Clinton Jeffrey down in the infield, and the Maudsleys joining us here in the booth as well. Jamie and Jordan. Just heard them do the Bone Stock feature event. As we get ready for 50 laps for the Qwick Wick Firestarter Super Stocks, and what a season it's been for this division. Some excellent racing across the province of Ontario. It all started here back in July, where Trevor Culver picked up the win, and an impressive win in that. And now, after all is said and done, he comes in as the point leader here tonight, and he is chasing the championship for the first ever championship crown to be distributed by the Qwick Wick Firestarter Super Stock Series. And he's closely followed. Lane Zardo back there in the second spot, 5 points back. Ray Morneau and Dwayne Baker 9 points back, tied for third. Pete Vanderwees comes into this one fifth. He's 15 points back. And then 6 through 10, Nick Ramsey, Jason Parker, Ryan Dyson, Garrett Teemersma, and Carson Nagy. That completes the top 10 coming into tonight. Now, Garrett Teemersma, he's got a win over at Flamborough Speedway. Carson Nagy won at Peterborough. Lane Zardo, our most recent winner, he picked up the win, of course, at Sunset Speedway a couple of weeks ago. So that's how the top 10 shapes up heading into this final event. And such quality throughout this entire field. From front to back, we've got some hometown regulars mixed into this. Of course, Trevor Culver, pretty sure he's happy that the championship will come down to his home track aboard that car number 1. Always so smooth and good here at Delaware Speedway. And we heard Dwayne Baker, the bully, who's such a veteran here in the province of Ontario. So good for so many years. And he's going to start deep right now in this one. He'll start way back outside of the top 10. And said in that interview that this isn't maybe one of his best tracks by any means, so he'll have some work to do. But that's why we run the races. By the end of it, we'll see who shakes out as the 2021 champion. As they clear the front stretch, we'll bring the drivers down here, line them up, and do the driver introductions to get ready for the start of this one here at Delaware Speedway. Don't forget to follow us on GeForce TV next week. We'll have a doubleheader from Humberstone Speedway Friday and Saturday night live here on GeForce TV, watching all the action from Port Colborne, Ontario. As we're going to have the season finales for the Pinty's Knights of Thunder 360 Sprint Car Series both nights. They'll finish up the points chase on the Saturday night. That is a schedule change. The October 9th event at Southern Ontario Motor Speedway has been canceled and rescheduled to next Saturday night at Humberstone Speedway, so that will conclude the season there, and that will crown the first ever champion for that division and that series as well. So we'll have it all here on GeForce TV next weekend. 2 nights of racing from Humberstone Speedway right here on GeForce TV, and you can go to humberstonespeedway.ca for all the information if you want to join and watch in person. Great facility. Terry Vince and crew have done a great job. So exciting. You come to Delaware Speedway and see all the improvements and how fantastic this facility looks. And then you go to a place like Humberstone Speedway that's turning things around as well and improving that place. And we've been to Merrittville Speedway, which always is a show place, and Brighton, that's always continuing to prove and always looks so good, and Sunset Speedway, just so many good tracks. Could name them all. So many good tracks, and things are really thriving, which was a concern we all had, obviously, in 2020, that this might be the beginning of the demise, but it really seems to be the opposite. And a lot of that comes to thanks to you, the fans that have been coming out and watching on GeForce TV, but also live in person. As soon as we were able to have fans in the stands, boy, I'll tell you what, fans have been hungry for short track racing, and we're so glad to have you back here, because last year we had the privilege, and it was an honor to be able to come to the racetrack in 2020 when you, the fans, weren't able to. And we felt guilty being here, but we were happy to be able to bring you the racing on GeForce TV, and we look forward to continuing to do it. Super Stock Series lining up down on the front stretch here as we'll wedge Adam Ross back into the booth here. Hanging down at the poutine truck, I would imagine, is where Adam was. Dave Bradley says yes. Double scooping, was he? Not Adam.
You speak in a much friendlier tone when I'm not in the booth. Have you noticed that?
Well, I was trying to be quiet up here because I knew you were taping your intro for TSN.
Yeah. Little wardrobe change.
So we'll do something because, well, even I don't know all the details, but we'll be covering the Qwick Wick Super Stock Series finale right here on GeForce TV, but then things will change for the NASCAR Pinty Series. They're lining up for the Canadian Tire 125 a little later on tonight. That won't be on GeForce, so tell fans how they'll be able to watch.
Yeah, if you want to watch, and fans in the stands, we strongly recommend GeForceTV.net. You're going to get great shots of the replays and everything that happens. Don't stream it the whole night. Watch the racing in front of you. When something exciting happens, I strongly suggest cue it up, hit your GeForce TV, watch what happens. So when we do switch over and it comes time for the NASCAR broadcast, we have some personnel switches that happen. But the biggest change is we log off the air on GeForce TV, and you've got to go to the TSN Go app or tsn.ca. And as long as you're a subscriber to any TV service that provides TSN, you can log into that account and catch the action.
So all the action is here tonight, but not on GeForce TV, but plenty of opportunity to catch both races here tonight. We're so happy to have the Qwick Wick Firestarter Super Stock Series here on GeForce TV. Adam, I'm talking while you were out of the booth, but it's been a phenomenal year, and to see such strong car counts, it's been a great first season.
It has. How lucky are we that this is what we get to do? You know, we've announced a long time, a lot of different places, and I can... You know, there's been times I've announced races where there was 10 or 12 cars show up and not that many more fans, and you announce it and you get excited because that's what we do. But to actually come out and call this series this year, and the APC series and the Pinty series on the dirt, the race fans, there has never been a better time to be a race fan in Ontario. And I believe that. The campgrounds are packed out back. The atmosphere is phenomenal. And we're glad that you're here. And, Greg, we'll do some on-air business here. We're going to do the starting lineup. Once we get to the front, we're going to go to a quick break on GeForce, and then we're going to present the national anthems while we're on break. And then we'll come back to start your engines and go racing. How's that sound?
Perfect to me. We're just waiting for the green flag here to roll off for our driver introductions. 26 drivers in total here tonight to compete for the final checkered flag of the year for the Super Stocks at Delaware Speedway. Of course, still some postseason. There's
the Giverpotamus.
Still some postseason races, of course, in the province of Ontario. But so some of these Super Stock drivers will still have races to compete in the coming weeks.
Yeah, lots of action still to come. We understand Velocity was a big weekend last weekend at Sunset Speedway. Congratulations to all the winners. One of whom should have been Dave Bradley. He had a throttle get sticky at the end there and fell back to second spot in his race on Saturday night.
He does well. He had a win earlier this year, did he not? Was it Peterborough?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
His brother, Mike Bradley, seems to... Now, I think Mike races more than Dave does. Yeah. Mike seemed to have found success a little bit quicker, but I'm really happy for Dave that he's found his groove and found victory lane. I did give him trouble, though. Did you see his shot on Facebook celebrating the win in victory lane?
No.
The dummy left his helmet on. It's a beautiful shot, like the victory, arms in the air. Look, I'm so excited. Look, I might as well be, insert name here. He could be Ronald McDonald for all we know, because he's got his darn helmet on. Although when Dave takes his helmet off, he still looks a little bit like Ronald McDonald.
Ouch. Ouch. No, good to see him. And he's one of those announcers that has other talents, unlike you and I. He can get things done, and of course the voice of the NASCAR Pinty Series on TSN.
He's got a big voice.
Oh, he does. He does. It's soothing.
It really is.
Very soothing.
I like listening to your voice. If you weren't such a jerk, it'd be perfect.
Sorry.
But the voice is
I talk
good.
myself to sleep.
We have the reason we don't like each other is because we've got a lot in common, I think. Sadly.
Sadly. We won't admit it, but
that's all right.
Oh, Clinton Jeffrey down trackside. I hear your mic tapping. What's going on down there?
Well, I wasn't tapping my mic, but we got problems down here. The 71X car's got the hood up, guys, and they're ready to grid this car. Fluid leaking out from under the front end of it, so we'll follow this story a little bit as we see what happens. And you guys are ready to start your driver intros.
Probably the air conditioning.
All right. Starting a lineup for tonight's main event for the Qwick Wick Firestarter Super Stock Series and their championship crowning event. Starting in the 26th spot from London, in the Kelsey's Hyde Park, Austin, and Taylor Home Furnishing 71X, it's Connor Van Steensel. Starting inside of row number 13 from Bolton, the Ken's Pin Limited, number 6, Mike Weeda.
Row number 12 on the outside from Durham, the Struck Energy Systems Elevated Workplace Safety Chevrolet, number 71, it's Corey McAllister. Starting 23rd from Cambridge, the London Recreational Racing Grey Bar Canada Chevrolet, number 12, Justin Collison.
Starting 22nd from Windsor in the Shock Pros ATV Accessory and Parts, Kerry Morrison Realty, number 19, Kevin Trevelyan. And going 21st from Kincardine in the Bester Forest Products Ford, number 33, Roy Wilkie.
Starting 20th from London in the Rick Blake Auto Chevrolet, number 2, Doug Stewart. Into the inside of the 10th row from Petrolia, the Lifeline Inventory Express Chevrolet, number 45, Ryan Bright.
Starting 18th from Hamilton, the Alexander Glassendor Chevrolet, number 73, Nick Trobeck. And to the inside, row number 9, out of Grafton in car number 08, this is Paul Boundy.
Starting 16th, all the way from North Bay, the HumberviewParts.ca Action Utility Trailers, number 29 Chevrolet, Paul Pepper. And to his inside, from Barrie, the Lefroy Plumbing, Lynn Bray's Farm Chevrolet, number 11, Ethan Constable.
Starting 14th from Hamilton in the Ottawa Auto Body, Napa Auto Parts, number 10C Chevrolet, it's Dennis Sobolski. And going from 13th, he's tied for third place in the points from Stayner, Ontario, the Nisco National Leasing GD Code Superstore, number 48 Chevrolet, it's the Bully, Dwayne Baker.
Starting 12th from Mount Hope, he's got a win this season from Queenston Chevrolet, from Mount Hope in the Queenston Chevrolet Graphic Marketing Solutions, number 93, Carson Nagy. And to his inside from Allenford, the Elmer's Flighting Supply, Ron Pringle Electric, number 30 Chevrolet, Todd Davenport.
Going from 10th from Plattsville in the Transaxle London Recreational Racing, number 89C, Sean Chenoweth. And starting 9th in car number 9, out of Strathroy in the McRoberts Fuels Damon Optimal Health Team, number 9, Andrew Ferreira.
Starting 8th on the outside of row number 4 from Lucan, the Inventory Express Lubricants Carter Trucking Chevrolet, number 1, Trevor Culver. Starting 7th out of Brampton, the Bester Forest Products Ford, number 36, Lane Zardo.
Starting in 6th from Windsor in the Iron Mike Industries Reed Farm Chevrolet, number 03, Ray Morneau Jr. And going from 5th out of St. Thomas, Ontario, driving the VP Specialized Carriers Pro Waste Solutions Chevrolet, number 7, Pete Vanderweest.
To the outside of row number 2, from St. Thomas, the APC Auto Parts Center Radar Auto Parts Chevrolet, number 07, Nick Ramsey. Starting 3rd from Port Elgin, the Mowbray's Canadian Tire K&K Lawn Care, number 8 Chevrolet, Jason Parker.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, your front row. Starting 2nd from Elmer, Ontario, driving the Douglas Windows and Doors APC Auto Parts Center, number 28 Chevrolet, Ryan Dyson. And going from the pole, from Newmarket in the Way Freight, Line X Newmarket, number 17 Ford Mustang, Garrett Teamersma.
Well, guys, I'll jump in here with Garrett. Garrett, you know, you said don't watch for a good lap for you, but you got up front here. You got a long way to go, though, man. What's the game plan, Garrett?
The game plan is to get a good lead and run away with it. But honestly, just keep the car clean, save my tires. It's going to be a long race. I'm expecting some late race cautions. It is championship night. But I think we have a chance to make it into the top 3 and hopefully for the win.
This Garrett Teamersma guy is going to try and get it done from the front row in the 17.
So now the drivers will get themselves buckled in, and when we return, we'll get these cars fired up and rolling for the start of the championship finale here at Delaware Speedway on GeForce TV.
There are a lot of things in this world that are fake. Your food shouldn't be one of them. Pinty's Man Cave Chicken Wings. Authentic food for real people. Crave the cave, friends. Pinty's Man Cave.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our weekly race chat.
Adam Ross and Clinton Jeffrey are live and interactive every Tuesday night. Rivals Race Chat is your home for race discussion, debate, news, interviews, and more. They'll even take your questions and comments live on the air and talk to some of the newsmakers each week. Tune in every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. on GeForce TV.
Hey guys, Jose here at Queenston Chevrolet Buick GMC in our service department. Welcome back to our car care series. If you are looking for quick, efficient, and quality maintenance for your vehicle's essential needs, our certified express service is here to help. Please follow me. Okay, so we're inside of our express service bay. You don't need an appointment to get your vehicle serviced here. It's an under 30-minute lube, oil, and filter change, all done by our GM certified technicians that know your vehicle inside and out. You can also get a complimentary car wash at the end of your service and get an alignment check done here in our express service bay. Okay guys, that's a wrap for episode number 2 of our car care series. Please visit our express service. Again, no appointments necessary for here, so we'll be waiting for you. Thanks.
Early man discovered fire, but Qwick Wick perfected fire. Qwick Wick is the only fire starter that guarantees to start your campfire, wood stove, or fireplace without the need for kindling or paper. Find your nearest Qwick Wick retailer at QwickWick.com.
A guy like this, who relies on his truck for work, knows that his truck will take care of him, that he takes care of his truck. And WeatherTech has always been the ultimate protection. From floor liners, to no-drill mud flaps, to tech liner for your truck bed, to bump step, to the handy under-seat storage system. And Cup Phone keeps phones secure in any cup holder. Order your ultimate protection today at WeatherTech.ca.
Second brake job this year. The pads are falling apart. See that edge lift?
Yeah.
Causes brake noise.
It's not safe either.
No. So I'm installing these NRS equipped pads. They've got hundreds of steel hooks that bite into the pad and bond it to the plate. No more brake noise. And in 3 years, you'll still have a solid brake pad down there and not some rusted out pile of shit.
This G-Force TV broadcast is brought to you by Northern Performance, Canada's largest stocking dealer of Hawk Performance brake pads. From street pads to race compounds, Northern has you covered. For free shipping Canada-wide, shop online 24/7 at northernperformance.ca. Epic Racewear, race apparel for racers by racers.
Welcome back live to Delaware Speedway, the Pinty's Fall Brawl Weekend here on G-Force TV. There you see the shot down the front stretch. The Qwick Wick Firestarter Super Stock Series ready to get things going. Let's send it trackside to Clinton Jeffrey.
Well, guys, here's some of the hardware they're going for this gorgeous Qwick Wick Firestarter Super Stock Series trophy. It is a beaut. And, of course, the boarding pass. 2 people are going to go to Costa Rica as part of the championship trophy and rewards tonight. So this is pretty cool, gorgeous trophy here. We've got the folks here from Qwick Wick and their contest winners. These guys named the caveman. Who came up with the name, buddy? What's your name?
Mark Turner.
And Mark, we all know what the caveman is in the commercial. What was the name you came up for him?
Yeah, Burnswell.
So we're going to call him Bernie?
Bernie for short, yeah.
All right, hey, you guys like that name for the caveman? Make some noise. Burnswell. I like it. We have a lot of Qwick Wickers here in the campground tonight, and everybody, if you need to start your fire, we all know how to get that done. Qwick Wick. Are we ready, Gibbs, to start these cars? Are you fans ready to start these cars? All right, so we got our reps down here. You guys know what to say, right? You got it all ready? All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Drivers, vibe it up!
I know I'm going to regret this, Greg. Like, I already regret it, and I haven't even said it. I love Frank, and I love Qwick Wick. I'm not getting it on an airplane that says Qwick Wick, a product that's known for burning a long, long time. I mean, I love it. It looked really cool, but I'm thinking, nope. Nope.
Oh, it's a one-way ticket, right?
Yeah, well, it's been nice. You know, I've enjoyed my career.
It's amazing the things we're thinking as we see things go on.
Burns well.
Burns well. And all I could think of is your nickname should be Sweatswell.
Montgomery Burnswell.
That's an excellent name. That's a good choice.
It is. Well done. And the winners, I hope they're enjoying themselves here tonight. We're about to be treated to some great racing.
A shout out, happy birthday to Grace Johnson, turns 13 today. Welcome to your teens. They go fast. Enjoy them, but not too much.
and we're sorry to your parents. Because the teens go really fast, they get really expensive, and I grew a ton of gray hair.
Hey guys, real quick, we do have some stuff to give away. We got a $100 gift card from BJ's Country Market and Omar's Kitchen. If you have a lucky program on page 3, it'll have the number 100 in there. So everybody open up your lucky programs and get to page 3, and you can claim that at the souvenir booth.
Everybody likes winning stuff.
Well, guys, just want to make sure the fans know it'll be the wave lap first time by. So when they come around turn 4, everybody, get on your feet and send the Super Stocks off in style, as it'll be your chance to wave them off here before we go for the championship race.
Guys, what a season it's been, eh? Just like a bunch of different winners, different guys up front. Where it doesn't matter where we go, it's been different guys up front.
It's been the same rabbit most weeks. I mean, we've seen Lane Zardo really quick everywhere. We've seen Trevor Culver really quick everywhere. Garrett Teemersma, I kind of lump him into that same category. But then there's been a lot of drivers who just do a great job at hanging around.
Well, I'll tell you that the night at Peterborough, Carson Nagy started up front and won the race. He could have started 10th that night. That car was just that good. He just hit it at Peterborough.
Drivers giving a wave to the crowd. Folks, give them a wave back. They're ready to do business and settle out who will be the champion for 2021. And the thing I'm most impressed about is you start a brand new touring series. It's always that question, will you get enough cars at all of the events? They surpassed, I think, what anyone expected.
I think it was the most questionable of the events that got the most cars. Peterborough Speedway, which is a long haul.
There was 6 guys, I believe, went home.
Yeah, I want to say there was 30 cars there.
And they didn't even go home. They just registered and raced in the OSS race later on that night.
That's brilliant. So good.
And then one of them started at the back and won.
Good for JP Josiazzi, the promoter up there at Peterborough. Good to see him get a full field of cars. It's just, like I said, it's been one of those things. It's been a season that's really good for race fans. Thanks for coming out tonight. It is night number 1 of 3 nights of fantastic racing. Been a lot of tickets sold. The campgrounds have been sold out since about the day they opened sales for them, Greg.
Yeah, it's been a huge event in the making. And the new ownership group here are just doing a fantastic job. And the first time we came here in July, we could already see the improvements starting. And now coming back the second time, you already notice more things that just continue to get better and better here. And that's exciting. Like I was talking before you came back to the booth, we didn't know what to expect coming out of 2020. Would things kind of go down the toilet for everyone, or would we see kind of a resurgence? Well, I don't think I would have expected this much of a bounce back in motorsports as a whole, but Delaware is really one of those exciting notes.
It really is, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. Who could have anticipated the turnaround, the number of fans that came out? Last season was wild. Some good things happened last season, but the races just weren't. The races were great. The atmosphere was missing. It was gone. So to come back this year and have a better atmosphere than we've seen probably, Jamie, in decades.
Well, you saw how busy it was here July 1st weekend. How many people were here at Delaware Speedway? We had crowds just as big other nights during the year. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, last week's crowd bested that July 1st crowd. So, absolutely crazy. Guest driver Gary Adrianson behind the controls of that Highbury Ford pace car. Going a little slower in that Mustang than he used to go in his race car, but the celebrity pace car driver, Gary Adrianson, getting it done here tonight.
Well, Adam, we usually save this for the middle part of the race, but I think it's a good time. Let's fire it up for their biggest race of the year. The Qwick Wick Firestarter fired up the sights and sounds of the finale. Down the back stretch they go. Garrett Teemersma leads the way over Ryan Dyson. Jason Parker all over his back bumper. He'll look down to the inside off of corner 4.
Jason Parker's been putting out some sparks from underneath that 8 machine in the corner. It could just be low air pressure having to build up, but we see a couple other cars further back through the field putting off sparks as well.
One guy who's getting in trouble, Trevor Culver, he's got caught in that high groove. Almost got taken 3 wide on the opening lap by Sean Chenoweth, but he has been struggling to find speed upstairs in that one. He keeps getting bypassed on the bottom.
Top 3 single file, then it's side by side for the 4th spot. Vander Wees down to the inside of Ramsey as they work it down the back stretch into corner number 3 with Lane Zardo. 2nd place in the points right now. He's right there trailing this battle.
Ray Morneau got lucky there. He got down to the bottom of the racetrack in front of Sean Chenoweth, but he couldn't keep that line in 3 and 4. He slid up the track. Chenoweth going to drive it deep. That's a battle for about the 8th spot. We've got a battle for the lead. Here comes Ryan Dyson.
Ryan Dyson slips by down in corner number 3. He'll get by Teemersma and take the top spot here on his home track. He'll go across the stripe to complete lap number 7.
Chenoweth and Culver make that pass on Ray Morneau Jr., so Culver finally starting to make some forward progress, but so is Lane Zardo. Zardo up to the 5th spot in the Bester Forest.
We got a
trouble in turn number 2.
Big pile up, and they're still collecting up there. Justin Collison was late to the party.
Paul Pepper, Nick Troback, Doug Stewart, Dennis Sabalski.
Mike Weida, I believe, is up against the wall again 2 weeks in a row. Yeah, there's the Sabalski car. Same corner of that car that got damaged up at Sunset.
Paul Boundy takes off. Kevin Trevelyan up there in the number 19. Folks, this is what I meant. If you've got a smartphone, and if we've got a replay, but we don't, it happened deep in the field, so nothing to show you except the mangled wreckage of Mike Weida in that number 6. And boy, oh boy, you hate to see that happen once, let alone replay of the last race, which I think only lasted about this long for Weida at Sunset.
Yeah, it was a short go for him as he ended up, he was farther down. He was down to the entry at corner number 3 at Sunset Speedway and up against the wall, and that ended his night there. And that car rolling at least here. He had to take the hook last time. But they were piling in, and it was a mess up in corner number 2. And I just caught the very tail end of it, so didn't see what caused that. But
I believe Clinton Jeffrey is over there. I thought that's his microphone we can hear. Maybe he's.
I'm here. The 19 car's got a whole bunch of damage. Paul Pepper's also got problems. Guys, they're working on cleaning up the fluid off the speedway here. We'll get back to the pits and see who's working on the machines. You see the Paul Pepper car with the fender hanging off the right side of that. That's going to be some work. Farther down the track when he drives, you're going to see some more debris in the middle of the groove that they're going to have to clean up as Parker nurses his way by here and the field will come down. Pepper stops here on the grass. He'll back it up. He's got front end damage big time, guys.
So we did manage to get the backstretch wall cam to pick up that crash, and we could see it from a distance, but very hard to say exactly what happened down there. But the thing that I noticed in that replay, Adam, is just how tricky, and we talked about this in July, how tricky that second corner is. It's so unique to any other track. You go up the hill and down the hill, and you watch how those cars sling through that corner. It's a handful every lap.
Every corner is a big handful here as we see big problems on Paul Pepper's front end. That left front towed in. Well, more than just toe damage, a flat right front tire, so there'll be plenty of work for that crew to take on. He was looking for a good run tonight, as everybody is when they show up to the racetrack, but qualifying is so very important. You know, you want to get yourself past the trouble spots. The more restarts we have, the more contentious this race is going to become, because we saw two of the best in Trevor Culver in the 1, Ray Morneau Jr. in the 0-3. They're fast race cars, but they couldn't hang on the outside of the other car. So anyone who's going to be restarting in an outside lane might have to have an escape plan.
And you could hang tough in the outside lane here through 3 and 4. There's enough grip there. It's from the middle of 1 and 2 to the exit at 2. That's the place where you really get spanked being on the outside groove. Now, if you can get your car to work out there and you can hang tough out there, you can make up a lot of positions. in that outside lane, but that's the toughest spot on the outside lane on this track.
Got to say, you called it on Andrew Ferreira. We kept our eyes on him, and look where he is. He's up to the 4th spot, started in 9th. So, Jamie, he's done quick work to get up there, and he's brought Sean Chenoweth with him, who's right behind him in 5th, and he started in the same row with Andrew.
And again, last time out, Chenoweth, he banged up the front of that car pretty good. Rick Verburne's old Super Stock. They've been playing with that thing, and again, the guy behind the wheel definitely needs no introduction.
No, he's a pretty good shoe.
Well, guys, here in the Pepper Pit, they've got a broken tie rod on the front end is what it looks like. The tires are not pointing in the same direction. That's why he had problems backing up. We'll see if Paul is taking all his gear off. Yeah, they may be done here, guys, and we'll follow up some more stories here as there's more cars on pit road. Get right back to you.
Is that Junior? No, I don't think it is. So the work going on to Pepper's front end, they're kind of looking things over. You never know until you get back to the pits and let your crew have a look. You've got to give them the chance to have a look and see if they can make repairs. Clinton, what are they thinking? Is that the WIDA number 6 we're looking at?
Yeah, this is the damage on the WIDA 6 car, and you can see all kinds of problems here with body damage. He's already got his helmet off, and we'll look, and if you just twist this way, the 19 is right beside us here on the tow truck. There's all kinds of action here in the pits, guys. Give us a second. We'll get right back to you.
This is a big infield for Clint to travel, and I feel bad for him tonight. And is Ryan with him tonight?
No, Jack. With me
Jack. Oh, he's young. He can handle it.
So here's a look at the 2 car, all the damage on this one, and they're working on back in the 19 in. We're just going to have to slightly back up out of the way here. Sorry about that, Spencer, but we had to move as they're back in the 19 in. Lots of action back here, guys, as they try and discuss what happens. And we'll head over here and check this one out.
You know, and the cars that, to me, seemed the most banged up might have just been bystanders to that accident.
This work continues on with the Speedy Drive, the brooms, and the leaf blower down there. That's an unnerving thing to see in corner number 2, and that the hill down there to shoot you down the backstretch to see all that kitty litter the first lap or two. And we talked about that earlier on in the year.
Yeah. Well, guys, we got a meeting of the minds down here in the pits. Not sure who it is, but they are not happy with each other down here. Looks like it's Pepper and the 2 as they talk and walk away from each other. And things get a little bit excited down here. The APC officials had to come and cool some heads, boys.
See Robin Young and Robin Caddio. Young Mr. Hambley down there. They got all the enforcers.
I'm so passive, I could not do that job. Like, nah, go for it.
So, last week at Delaware Speedway, a driver in the Pure Stock division went ripping out of the pits, like way too fast. And the pits there are outside of the racetrack, so that driver got parked for the race. Comes into the pits, an official goes over there to talk to him, and I'm not sure if that official needed to go over there. Another official goes over there, and the driver was calm, realized what he'd done, and his night was over, and the 2 officials started fighting. Love this game.
Oh.
My favorite was all the years I got to call the kids' races up at Grand Bend, and at the end of the night, the 2 parents would be fighting, and the kids would be over there sharing an ice cream together.
Yeah, that's pretty familiar.
There you see Kevin Trevelyan surveying the damage. Had his only career CASCAR Super Series top 5 here at Delaware Speedway back in May of 1994 with a 4th place finish.
Wow.
There's your useless trivia for the evening.
Nice stat. Clint, what's going on?
Just jumping here with Kevin. Kevin, your car looks pretty beat up. What was the story there coming out of turn number 2?
I didn't really see a lot. I seen a couple cars spinning. I took the top, and when I went up top, committed, the 10 was coming back up the track. I hit him, hit the wall, and I got hit from behind, and it broke both spindles. So we're done.
Tough night. At least you still got a smile on your face.
Well, you know, it's racing. What are you going to do, right? It's part of the game. We were just kind of hoping to make it a little better for next year, but end of the season, that's what you get, right? Everybody's just trying a little too hard.
We got a lot of time to fix it up. Thanks for talking with us, Kevin Trevelyan, guys. Still smiling after a horrible wreck here in turn number 2.
I don't know how some drivers can do that. That's not in me.
Clint and I had this argument on our show a couple of weeks ago, and it was about contentious moments and with your racing with your son. Like, I watched Connor crash and make mistakes, and it is what it is. It's part of the game, because racing is disappointment. I don't care. Pete Shepard. When's the last time Pete Shepard won a race? He's a good race car driver.
Yep. What, 15 maybe in the Pinty series? Like it's six years ago?
You lose a lot in this sport, but guess what? He also got the opportunity to pick up a great ride with APC, right? He's running the Pinty series this weekend. He's running the APC series. And I'm not picking on Pete, just as an example of a really good driver that hasn't visited victory lane. That's losing. Like, to a driver who shows up expecting to win, he has lost every time on the track for the last 5-6 years, if that's how long it's been.
Well, you've got 26 cars out here in this one. There's going to be 25 losers.
And a lot of them will have a good run. You know, maybe finishing on the lead lap will be a good run, and they can be content with that. But if you take the drivers who show up thinking, I got a shot at winning this thing, when you don't win, it's disappointing.
Guys, I got Paul Pepper here. Paul, a bit of a heated discussion here with, I think, Sobalski. What was the story?
Well, he just thought I flat out wrecked him, and that wasn't the case. He came down on me. I was underneath him and out of 2, and he came down and got into the race side door. I don't know if he watches the replay. He even told me, the spotter said I wasn't there. I was underneath him coming out of 4. I gave it to him, let him have it, got in underneath him again in 1 and 2, and he just cut down on me. And like I said, his spotter said he didn't know that I was there, and he's trying to tell me that I wrecked him. But, I don't like tearing stuff up any more than he does. So, it's unfortunate, and I know we got to move on, I guess. I'm sick of this.
Was that a tie rod that got you out of this one?
We broke spindle right off, so I don't know. We'll see if we make Flamborough or not.
Thank you. Paul Pepper, guys. That's his story from here in the pits.
Good job, Clinton.
Looks like they'll get the 1-to-go signal, and we'll go right back to it next time around.
Ryan Dyson had just taken the lead. He's back in the 2nd spot. You go back to that last completed lap. So he's got his work cut out for him. You've got an aggressive Jason Parker starting in 3rd. He doesn't want to give up any ground to Garrett Tiemersma. So that's the move. You saw Tiemersma accelerate there in turn number 2. That is still having an effect on the back of the field. We're going to cover this all weekend long. I want to talk about that move all weekend long, Greg.
Coming back to the green flag. Tiemersma and Dyson will set the pace down the front stretch, and off they go into corner number 1. Side by side in through the corner with Jason Parker down now to the inside of the 28 machine.
Parker on the bottom. Ryan Dyson with a good run to the high side. If he can hang out there in 3 and 4, he'll keep Parker pinched to the inside, get a good run off the turn. Parker may get stuck in the middle, 3 wide. No, he'll stay on the inside.
Looked like there might have been some contact there between Parker and Dyson. Dyson able to clear everybody else as they start to get single file down the backstretch.
3 wide into corner number 3. Will this work?
Was that rhetorical?
Ramsey backs out of it a little bit to let Parker have the line as they're in a good fight right now for the 3rd spot as the top 2 start to check out.
So Ramsey's getting good runs through the center of the turn and off. Lane Zardo as well, and they're kind of bottlenecked there behind Jason Parker and the 7 of Vanderweest.
Good job by Vanderweest getting that done on the top side of Parker.
First of the contenders right now is Lane Zardo. He's in the 4th spot following Pete Vanderweest towards the top 2. They're stacking up behind him right now as they're a couple of cars wide now going into corner number 3 with Ferreira on the bottom of Jason Parker.
Now, how did Ramsey give up the inside to let Ferreira down there for Ferreira to start putting the pressure on Parker? I didn't see that exchange.
4-car breakaway at the front. Here comes Lane Zardo. Takes a look on Vanderweest down the backstretch. Tucked back in line going into corner number 3 with the top 4 are nose to tail. And Ryan Dyson got to feel good to be able to track down that white number 17.
Yeah, Ryan backed up the exit of turn 4 just a little bit. Got a great run on the bottom. Tiemersma using a lot more racetrack up towards the wall. Dyson with a bit more efficient line coming straighter off the turn. Still couldn't get a nose in there to make a move.
Here's the challenge for the second spot. Vanderwees now down to the inside of Dyson off the corner. Dyson holds the spot. Zardo tucked right up in behind him. Ferreira now is broken free. He's in the 5th position with 2 cars battling directly behind him.
Here goes Dyson looking to the inside down into turn number 3. Can he get it to the bottom? Teamersma drives it in deep. Dyson drives it in just a little bit deeper. He'll hug the bottom. Teamersma going to keep the lead.
Good battle right now at the front amongst these top 4. Dyson holds on to the second spot. Vanderwees tucked in behind him with Zardo biding his time in the 4th position. He's having a good solid run right now. Trevor Culver trying to make his way towards the front. He is the point leader.
Jason Parker was just in a battle for the lead, and he's barely hanging on to a top 10 spot right now. Nick Ramsey, the next car behind him, but he is back in the 8th spot and traveling in the wrong direction.
Teamersma holding the lead down the way freight. Number 17 with Dyson, Vanderwees, and Zardo right now following in his tire tracks, and it's Ferreira back in 5th. And you've got Chenoweth right behind him, and then Trevor Culver as the caution flag comes out for debris in corner number 1, I believe. Up on the... No? I don't see it. I don't see it. I heard corner 1. I thought I saw it, but it was actually the speaker on the fence there. There are a number of obstructions here in the tower.
Apparently, I was one of them. Can you believe that?
It was right behind where that speaker was. Believe it or not. There you have it. Had to be because the speaker's still there. So 13 on the board in this one for the Qwick Wick Firestarter Super Stock Series. Garrett Teamersma out in front of Orion Dyson, Pete Vanderwees, Lane Zardo, and Andrew Ferreira, the top 5. So Lane Zardo came into tonight's 2nd place in points. 5 points back at Trevor Culver, who's 2 spots behind him right now in the running order.
Where they're running right now, Culver would still win the championship by 2 points over Zardo. What's going to get interesting is if Zardo can make it to the front and start racking up some bonus points. That's when Culver's really going to have to light the wick.
Well, Culver's got that cushion, so he's in the fortunate position that he can see where Zardo is. He knows where he has to get. Lane Zardo knows he has to win this race. Like, there's no question. He's got to win the race, do everything he can there. And I think he's working towards that. But now it falls into Trevor Culver. But there's a whole bunch of other drivers who all want to win.
Ray Morneau is a row behind Trevor Culver. He's up there. He's in the 3rd spot in points, tied with Dwayne Baker coming into tonight. Get back under the green flag, and Vanderwees all over the back bumper of the way for 817.
Pete Vanderwees trying to hold position. We saw him get to the inside of Ryan Dyson in 3 and 4 a few laps ago, and Dyson really pinched him down, was able to keep the spot. Dyson trying to fight him off again. He gets a good run off that 4th turn. Can he close the door? Yes, he does. Here goes Ferreira to the inside of Lane Zardo.
It's definitely what Culver wants, is for Zardo to have struggles getting to the front. You see Culver to the inside of Parker now to pick up a spot out of turn 4. As long as he can stay right on Zardo's rear deck lid, he's in good shape.
Right, that plays into the favor for sure of Trevor Culver, as he's got no daylight between himself and Lane Zardo. Here we go, Ryan Dyson finally getting the run he needed to get to the inside of Teamersma in 3 and 4.
Yeah, he pulls up right alongside his door that time in corner number 3, but he's feeling the pressure from behind as Pete Vanderwees is all over the back bumper of that number 28 machine, and now Dyson into the back end of Teamersma.
Sent Teamersma for a long slide there through turn 2. He couldn't get back to the throttle, and I think Garrett's going to squeeze him down as much as he can in 3 and 4. They'll drag race down the front stretch.
Spears definitely closed the door on him down in 3 and 4 that time by. And Dyson's still right there, sticking that 28 on the bottom.
Ferreira to the inside of Pete Vanderwees, so they're getting racing for 1st, 3rd, and 5th.
Oh, and the points contenders side by side. Close call there. Trevor Culver with Lane Zardo going into corner number 3. Culver rolls out of it, tucks back in line behind the 36 machine.
There, Trevor Culver was what you might call committed, heading down into turn 3 there.
That he was.
Dyson with a good run down the backstretch all the way up to the driver's door. Teamersma in the 17 gets a little bit squirrely in turn 4. Teamersma using all that racetrack up to the wall. Gets him a great run down the front stretch.
Now right now, corner 4 is what's really hurting Ryan Dyson. He gets such a good run off of corner number 2 and down the back stretch, but coming off of 4, he's just not getting the run that he needs. Maybe a little too low coming off the corner. Like you said, Teamersma's using all the racetrack to carry that momentum.
And part of it is Dyson's trying to keep Vanderwees behind him, and Vanderwees can get off the corner pretty well on the bottom.
Vanderwees all over the back bumper of that number 28 machine again through corners 1 and 2. Dyson takes a look down low. Can't get the run this time by. This time by, we're coming up on lap 21 complete.
Nearing the halfway mark of this race, 21 down, 29 laps to go. Now Dyson to the inside of Teamersma in 1 and 2. This we have not seen just yet. Can Garrett keep position on the outside going down into 3 and 4, Greg?
Dyson's got the run that he wanted down the backstretch. In fact, had the car out in front for a moment. But again, Teamersma trying to work the outside line. He'll continue to lead at the line, but just narrowly.
Door to door again through 1 and 2. Dyson drives it in a little bit harder. You can see the lights off the chrome wheels on the Dyson 28. He got a little bit loose there in 1 and 2, but kept his foot in it. He maintains that top spot for now. Teamersma trying to fight back to get position on the outside, but Ryan Dyson's taking the lead.
And Vanderwees now will try to follow suit down to the inside of Teamersma. And bringing Andrew Ferreira along with him. You have to wonder if maybe Ferreira is going to size up the top 2 now. He's been on a march since the drop of this green flag.
Now Lane Zardo trying to follow Ferreira through there, and I think Ferreira is definitely a wild card because he has nothing to lose. He just wants a trophy and some money tonight, Greg.
Yeah, exactly. He's not in the middle of this point standings at all, and here comes Lane Zardo following him by Teamersma, who's now gone from the lead and holding on to the top 5. He gets into it with Trevor Culver and goes around. Culver will get around. I don't know if he sustained any damage, but that will put us under the caution flag, 1 lap shy of halfway.
What I saw there was Garrett Teamersma trying to get back to the bottom, and there wasn't a bottom to be had because Culver was already there. But contact was made between Culver and Teamersma, so it'll be a matter of whether race director Trevor Handley decides that Culver was an involved car. But if Culver has to go to the back, the plot thickens.
It gets soupy for Trevor Culver if he's got to start at the back and work his way towards the front. Lane Zardo right now having a solid run up inside the top 5.
Was that the black flag Sean Gibbs had in his hand? Sean, hold that flag up in your right hand. We're going to have a look at the replay here down into 3. And there's where the contact was made, but Culver's right up to the driver's door by the time they make contact.
Black flag?
Looked like he was in there.
Culver got... And really, is it a black flag or is it you have to go to the back? Because I think Culver just turned into the pits. So he'll report to the pits, and probably a wise move. You have to go to the back anyhow, have the crew look over the car. He's going to be at the back restarting with Garrett Teamersma. Now Lane Zardo, this is where the challenge comes in. How hard do you push if you're Lane Zardo? You're in the catbird seat now. But there's a number of other drivers still in contention. So do you push the issue and try to get to the lead? Do you try to get to a comfortable spot? I'm still of the mindset, Greg, run your race. If your goal is to go there and win the race, and that's what was going to lead you to the championship, you should run that same game plan.
I wondered what you were going to say because I thought he's not turning circle on what he said earlier, does he?
No, you can't. And if we see that he does, that's my opinion is that once you get conservative, problems pop up that you didn't anticipate.
Because you're racing away, you're not used to racing, really. So let's fire it up another time. The sights and sounds here of the Qwick Wick Firestarter Super Stock finale as we come back to the green flag. 27 laps left to go.
Chenoweth just sent that car down into turn number 1 to the inside of Pete Vanderwees. A couple of grizzled veterans rubbing fenders off of turn number 4.
Hey, you said it best. He's like Andrew Ferrer. He's got nothing to lose out here tonight. He wants a checkered flag. And they caught Zardo on the outside. He's been hemorrhaging spots. And this is only helping Trevor Culver. He's picking his way through from the back of the field.
Well, and we're going to have to refer to the chart here to see who else is in this points battle, because there were a lot of drivers in contention. Dwayne Baker among them, Ray Morneau among them, and Sean Chenoweth with a good run to the inside. Pete Vanderwees way up the racetrack off of turn 2.
Yeah, I thought he had a problem there for a moment. The 7 machine picks up speed again behind Sean Chenoweth. Now he's got Nick Ramsey to his inside. Lane Zardo right behind this battle for the 4th position.
Morneau definitely has to finish ahead of Lane Zardo if he wants to have any shot at this championship here.
Oh, you're absolutely right there. Zardo draws up the inside of Pete Vanderwees. And again, Vanderwees and other drivers got to be a little bit upset, thinking, man, wasn't I just racing for the lead a couple laps ago? He's another driver in the title contention, I believe, came in tonight in the top 5.
Ryan Dyson out in front and has a good size advantage right now, almost a second and a half over Andrew Ferreira, the rookie of the year here at Delaware Speedway in 2021, having the race of his life.
Sean Chenoweth with a well-executed bump and run over Ferreira, and he gets away down the backstretch. Nick Ramsey closes in on that red number 9. He'll drive it deep into 3 and 4.
31 laps go up on the board, make that 30 laps up on the board, 20 to go. Here in the season finale, and there goes Ferreira. Pushed up the track by Nick Ramsey. Zardo goes by. Here comes Vanderwees to the inside.
Vanderwees going to take advantage of that as well. Can Jason Parker close in? The next 3 cars nose to tail. If they can get there in time, it does not look like they're going to. Andrew Ferreira has been knocked back a few spots.
So it's Dyson, Chenoweth, Ramsey now the top 3. Things have jumbled up here in the last couple of laps. Lane Zardo sits back there in the 4th spot. Vanderwees running in 5th. And Ferreira, who had made that charge towards the front, now finds himself in the clutches of the field.
18 laps remaining. A lot of things can happen in that amount of time. Whoa, trouble off of turn number 4. Todd Davenport in the 30 goes around. That might have been off the front bumper of Trevor Culver. Culver was right behind the 30 machine. That's a bad feeling. It's been a long time, 22 years, but I remember what it feels like to start spinning up at turn number 4 and think, I'm about to hit something. There's no way you don't hit something.
So Todd's going to get this car, I believe, turned around under its own power. We'll see the replay here off of corner number 4 from the front stretch wall. Cam.
That bright green and yellow car, and yeah, there goes the Culver number 1. Corey McAllister, I believe, is right behind that battle. Todd Davenport gets the 30 car pointed in the right direction. Doesn't look like he made significant contact with that inside wall, so fortunate break for the driver of the 30.
So Ryan Dyson out in front over Sean Chenoweth, and Ryan Dyson does not have a win yet in the Superstocks, does he?
Heat races only.
Heat races,
he
yeah.
Only. Hasn't had a feature win. Did have a couple in the truck there 2 years ago, and of course had a podium run last year at Mcallis Speedway in the final Qwick Wick race of the year.
Yeah, he's been an impressive driver. Just Lady Luck hasn't really shown on Ryan Dyson.
One of those drivers that does a fantastic job with their social media, and it plays a big part in keeping us all up to date on how their seasons go. And, you know, there's some drivers that probably had just as bad luck, but they don't do social media, so we don't see the behind the scenes.
Trevor Culver's been put to the back.
Oh, wow.
You get passing points in the Superstocks.
You did, everybody be in trouble.
Well, guys, if you recall, Lane Zardo said he needed help, and this may be the help he needs right here to put Culver at the back. Even if he goes on to win this race, still needed some point help, and this may be it.
He is still in a hornet's nest there, Clinton, running on the 4th spot, so he's going to restart on the outside of row number 2. That's not where I would want to be.
No, you're surrounded by drivers that are in it for the win when you look at Chenoweth and Ferreira. One in front of him, one behind him. Obviously, Pete Vanderwees right now comes into the race 5th in points, so he's still got something to gain. But when you've got drivers just looking for wins...
Well, Ryan Dyson might be about to get taken advantage of. Chenoweth hanging back, starts to roll around the outside of the 28. A veteran is Sean Chenoweth in the 89C. Tries to squeeze the 28 of Dyson down on the inside. They make contact through 1 and 2.
Wow, credit to Ryan Dyson. Does a nice job holding his own, going off of corner 1 and 2. It stacks up, though, behind him as Ramsey gets into the back end of the 28.
Like an accordion down into the 3rd turn. The field squishes together. Everybody made it through. Again, Chenoweth is turning left about 10 feet before Ryan Dyson turns left.
This time it's going to cost him. He got all out of shape after bouncing off the 28 car and left the door wide open for Nick Ramsey.
It's also going to cost the 36, Elaine Zardo. He is up on the outside, stuck behind Sean Chenoweth in the 89C. Thankfully, there's a bit of a gap back to Jason Parker in the 8, but this could be trouble.
Here comes Vanderwees now down to the inside of Sean Chenoweth as they work down the backstretch. Zarda will try and take advantage of that as well as he'll dive down to the inside of the 89C through 3 and 4.
Chenoweth trying to find an opening to get back to the bottom in the racing groove. He's going to find it back in that 5th position. Whoa, trouble for Lane Zardo. He got really squirrely going down into 1 and 2. That allows Chenoweth to get to the inside.
So it's Dyson out front now over Nick Ramsey. Pete Vanderwees there in the 3rd spot. Then a gap back to that battle for the 4th spot. Door to door, Chenoweth and Zardo.
Zardo's car did not look stable down into 1 and 2 the last lap. And again, look at how loose he gets partway through the turn in that 36 machine. Lane Zardo, could he have a tire going down?
4 points up on Ray Morneau, who's back there in the 3rd place in the points. And Morneau can see him now, so that's got to get him a little bit more hungry when he can see that 36 backtracking towards him.
You would think so, and Zardo still, he did a little bit better that time through 1 and 2, but that car does not look like it did a few laps ago.
I've got to put a shout out to one quiet driver. He's been like this all year long.
Oh!
That's Morneau around.
On the front bumper of Ferreira. Now, did they not have some history the last few weeks, Jamie?
Yeah, a little bit. There was a lot of history a few weeks ago. There's volumes written in one night here at Delaware Speedway. Well, one guy I'm impressed with here tonight, and really all year, he's quietly flew under the radar and has put together a bunch of solid finishes, is Ethan Constable. Yeah. He struggled his home track stuff, which has really put him behind in points, but he's got some top 5 finishes, and here tonight he started 15th and already up to, I believe he's running 7th right now.
Let's take a look from our drone down into 3 and 4. Morneau had closed in on the 8 of Jason Parker. I don't know if he had to check up or if Ferreira was just that much quicker, but contact from that red number 9 of Ferreira sends the 03 of Morneau spinning in turn number 3.
On that last restart, I'll tell you what, I think Ryan Dyson just kind of solidified himself right there, whether he wins or loses this race. The way he raced with Sean Chenoweth, he did not back down because Sean Chenoweth is a good racer, he's a clean racer, but he knows how to race aggressively. And Ryan went door to door with him and said, you know what, I want this as bad as you, and held his own, and kudos to Ryan Dyson.
If you've known Sean Chenoweth through all the stages of his career, there's BS and AS, before Schmidt and after Schmidt. Because when Mike Schmidt came around with London Recreational Racing, really drew Sean in. Before that, I mean, he was a firecracker. If you messed with him, he was gonna hit you back. There was nights he would hit you back first before you got a chance to hit him. But that was Sean Chenoweth. I mean, he was aggressive, elbows up. He has settled down quite a bit over the years, but he still knows how to race physically, knows how to get the most out of his race car, and probably knew that he was starting alongside a relatively inexperienced race car driver in Ryan Dyson.
Well, Dyson held his own, and you're so right about Chenoweth. He used to be rough early in his career. Another guy like that, Don Thompson. He was rough early in his career, but I mean, the last 10, 12 years he raced, I don't think he laid a fender on anybody.
No, you're exactly right. And racers evolve, and some of them don't. I mean, Kerry Mix was a driver who loved using the fenders of his race car in the front bumper, and he was like that throughout most of his career. The last couple of years tamed down a little bit, but every driver is different. Every driver runs off a slightly different code, Greg.
That they do, and now things are about to ratchet up in intensity as we're coming back to the green flag. The pace car about to pull off, and Ryan Dyson, Nick Ramsey now to the outside of the 28 machine with 14 laps left to settle it. The championship still to be laid upon one of these drivers. Right now it's Lane Zardo sitting in the pretty spot. Let's see if he can hold on as we're back under the green flag.
Peculiar start. The second and third rows were kind of fanning out there. Ryan Dyson hesitated to get on the loud pedal, but he takes off. Things are happening just outside the top 5.
Yeah, it's...
Ramsey just turned him.
Dyson goes around. What a heartbreaker.
Ramsey just hit him square in the bumper and turned him around.
Wow.
Yikes. Morneau is in it. Culver is in it. Lane Zardo got through it, but we'll have to see if that 36 suffered any damage at all. Wow.
I bet you Ryan Dyson wishes we were racing at Brighton Speedway right now. The leader gets their spot.
Did they really?
Yeah.
The spinner spinny rule?
Yeah. Let's watch the replay. Wow. Nick locked it up.
Yeah, Ramsey had been driving it deep into the corner, but you still, and he was trying to stay ahead of Pete Vanderweest. But the leader is a sacred car on the racetrack, right? And what you do to the leader is going to have an effect. You're going to get in trouble when that sort of thing goes down. You've got to protect them. You've got to make your pass. Even a bump and run is fine, but when you hit them right in the left rear corner like he did, that's a tough one to save.
Well, guys, the Morneau car's here, and you're getting a shot of it. It is the whole front end off, a lot of the bars pushed back, and Ray in here getting his... We thought he was getting the wheel off, but now they're pushing the car. So maybe they're going to push it in and get to work on it, guys. Not sure. We'll get right back to you.
Ton of fluid coming out from underneath that car. We'll have another look at the replay as watch Nick try and woe it up, but Dyson goes around. Good job by Sean Chenoweth. He just got by Ryan Dyson there. And again, Trevor Culver caught up in that mix.
Well, we had the conversation. Not many cars finish these races unscathed. Clinton, what are you seeing down there?
Todd Davenport was in here for a right front on the 30 car. We're going to walk back here and talk to Ray Morneau Jr., who just got out of his car. Ray, horrible break, man. What happened out there?
Well, it put us to the back when the 9 just flat out dumped us down in 3 here. Just a joke. I mean, we did the same thing at a home track race here a couple weeks ago. I got black flag and he didn't get shit today. It's a joke. They said they can't see it. Come on. It's pretty frustrating. I'm going to stop there. I'm going to get myself in trouble.
Obviously, all kinds of problems with the car. Did the rad go?
Yeah, the rad's gone in it. So, yeah, it is what it is. I'm going to have a lot of beers tonight.
Thanks for your time. Ray Morneau Jr., guys, he's a little just as hot as the car is.
But brutally honest, eh?
You know, and it's frustrated over things that happen. I appreciate when a driver gives you the goods.
I do too, exactly.
And that's Clinton Jeffrey. He gets in there, like as soon as the driver's helmet's off, he's going to get in there. You good to talk? And as soon as they give a nod or don't run away.
You know, we just want to mention, though, too, Adam, you know, we got to thank these teams for getting what we're doing here, understanding what the process is, and giving us these great reports.
Exactly. Like you're Johnny on the spot with them, and I think the drivers appreciate that. And the Morneaus have been very friendly to G-Force TV. I think they were the first race car to put a sticker on. They put a big sticker on the back of the car last year because they have a lot of family and friends in Windsor, and some of the races were so far away. They just thought it was really cool that those friends and family could watch.
So as you can see on screen, and for those watching, the 7 is now the leader. Pete Vanderwees has the 07 black flag put to the tail of the field. And that puts Lane Zardo in the second spot, and his closest competitor right now in the championship chase is Dwayne Baker, but he is outside of the top 10 right now.
Yeah, Dwayne Baker's not having a good run, and admittedly, he said in the pre-race there that he doesn't run all that well here at Delaware Speedway.
Sorry, he is up to the 8th spot as timing and scoring will cycle through some of these cars involved in that. So Baker is inside the top 10, but he had some work to do to catch Lane. He's 4 points behind Lane Zardo.
So now here is where I'll back down a little bit from my Lane Zardo has to win this race. He's got to try to get this restart. You've got to try to get the lead, obviously. If and when that doesn't happen, then you don't take chances. Don't take unnecessary chances to get to the bottom, ride it out, still try to recover, still wants to win the race.
Hey, if he can lead a lap, though, that's a bonus point right there.
Good point.
So we'll see what Culver can do. He's restarting about 11th here.
Still 15 laps left to go as we come back to the green flag. Here's the Qwick Wick Firestarter Super Stock Series finale. Zardo tucks in line behind Pete Vanderwees on that start.
Good to have a plan, Greg, and clearly Zardo's plan was as soon as there's a hole, get me clear to the bottom, I'm heading that way. Battle for the 3rd spot, Sean Chenoweth on the inside of Ethan Constable, Jason Parker right behind them.
Here comes Zardo, and he's going to lead the lap. There's the bonus point right there, as he'll clear Pete Vanderwees and now try and pull away from the pack as Sean Chenoweth now works to the inside of Constable right behind these two.
Chenoweth with a lot of speed in that 89C. He's shown it all race long. He picks up that 3rd spot. Can he close in on the race leaders? Lane Zardo out in front. Already has put a couple of car lengths on 2nd place, Pete Vanderwees.
Zardo, Vanderwees, and Chenoweth goes around off the front bumper of Ethan Constable. We'll have to have a look at that one. Now Chenoweth goes around. Still 13 laps left to go. This championship is far from done, even if Lane Zardo is leading the race.
Well, I don't know if you saw it. Culver was all over the brakes. I think the back wheels came off the air, or off the ground. He had that much brake in the thing, trying not to run into that incident off turn 2.
Let's have a look at the replay. Was it me or was it Chenoweth trying to catch that car going into one a little bit? Mind you, that car, you watch Sean, he's driving it sideways most of the way around the track. That's the way he drives it.
Yeah, well, if you want his opinion, go on Facebook tonight or tomorrow. He's really good at sharing and very openly what his thoughts are. So let's see what he thinks is the 11.
Oh. Just a little bump down here on the front stretch.
That was just a bit of a how do you do.
But again, you've said time and time again, Adam, you've got to be in control of the front end of your car. So for Ethan Constable,
yep,
the guy slows up in front of you, I guess it's your job to do the same. And contact was made, malicious or not.
No, well, that's just it. Intent doesn't matter. It can affect the penalty if it looks blatantly intentional. That flagrant foul if you're an NBA fan. So Lane Zardo out in front. I don't know if he led the previous lap, but it looks like he's keeping that spot. Yeah, I guess he did. He had opened up a lead, so we'd gone far enough. 36 laps complete. When we started that restart, there was 34 laps complete.
I believe Constable will maintain that 3rd spot, so a solid run for him here tonight.
So it'll be a Trevor Culver watch for the next little while to see where he is in comparison to Lane Zardo out in front of that 36. Can we get that? Let's have a look at that replay one more time, Spencer. So here we go. From the drone, down into the corner, Chenoweth by himself, Constable by himself, and...
All right, looks like Constable will get a penalty, and he'll go to the tail.
They've been consistent tonight in the calls. Now, they didn't make a call, I don't think, on the Ferreira number 9 with Ray Morneau, but he mentioned that in his interview. But otherwise, when they've seen it, they've called it. We're going to double up the field for the restart. Pete Vanderwees will be on the outside of Lane Zardo. Jason Parker in the 3rd spot. Garrett Teemersma 4th in that 17. His car seems to be moving in the right direction. The 17 seems to be pretty quick these last few laps.
Zardo and Vanderwees will start on the front row. Jason Parker, Garrett Teemersma. Remember, he was at the front early on in this one. Got spun down in 3 and 4. Now he's back right into the thick of it.
Have we even mentioned the name Carson Nagy tonight? Not
but
much.
We should. He's there in 6th right now.
We're going to go quick, fire it up for this restart.
Laps left to settle it. The man chasing a championship's Audi in front. Lane Zardo over Pete Vanderwees. Jason Parker holding on to the 3rd spot. Good battle behind him.
Great battle behind him. Garrett Teemersma trying to hold off the Ferreira number 9, but out in front, Lane Zardo pulling away. Let's see where Trevor Culver is. He's trying to make a move on Paul Boundy in the 08 machine. Culver scored right now in the 10th spot.
Down the back stretch they go. Culver looking for that spot on Boundy. A little bit farther behind this battle with Ferreira and the 17 of Teemersma. 11, make it 10 laps left to go in the season for the Qwick Wick Firestarter Super Stock Series.
Just keeping track of the championship chase. Where they're running right now, Culver would have to get to 3rd to make it a tie with Zardo. So right now, Zardo, your point leader as they run right now.
And 3rd is a long way to go, but Culver's picking them off. He's got speed as he works to the inside of Troback down into 1 and 2. The orange number 1 to the inside of that red 73, so he'll clear Troback and set his sights on Dwayne Baker. But with just 8 laps to go, he's probably going to need a yellow flag.
Following Culver right now is Ryan Dyson trying to cut his way back through the field. An early contender for the win here tonight. Had to do the run back through the field as it's Zardo, Vanderweest right now 1 and 2, and a big gap back to Jason Parker and Garrett Teemersma back in 3rd and 4th.
There's been so many incidents, I can't remember who got in the back of Ryan Dyson that cost him the lead in the first place.
Nick Ramsey.
There you go.
How about Teemersma making a bid now on Parker for 3rd spot? Kind of moved it up off the bottom. Parker slammed the door down in 3 and 4.
Yeah, loosen him up in turn number 2, but Parker closed that door. Teemersma still with a good head of steam. He'll work the inside. Nope, he's going to tuck in line in 1 and 2 and do the same again. Rotate the center of the turn really quickly, but Parker able to hold him off.
You great to see Jason Parker back out on tour full time this year, back behind the wheel of that stock car. He's got a heck of a battle going on. Oh, Tamirsma gets him jacked up.
That was a big old checkup for Jason Parker. Oh, Ferreira then gives up the inside. Carson Nagy takes it. That almost turned real bad for Ferreira.
Now Dwayne Baker and Trevor Culver will work to the inside of the Ferreira number 9 as they work off of corner number 4. 4 laps left in this one to settle the championship in 2021.
Lane Zardo is driven away from Vander Wees, and they've got a big gap over Garrett Temersma in the 3rd spot.
See those 2 cars continue to march through the field as Trevor Culver brings Ryan Dyson with him, following now Andrew Ferreira. Culver really would need a caution flag at this point, I think, to get up to that 3rd spot. He's charging hard, but he's going to run out of laps.
You're absolutely right. Ferreira putting all sorts of pressure on Carson Nagy as they work down into 3 and 4. Here goes Culver to make it 3 wide off of turn number 4.
Wow, that's what you call a Hail Mary late in the game, trying to get the passes you need. Here comes Culver down in corner number 1, trying to get by Ferreira.
Ferreira closed the door. Culver was having none of it. They continue their battle down the backstretch.
White flag is out for Lane Zardo. 1 lap remains for him in winning the 2021 Qwick Wick Firestarter Super Stock Championship.
Down the back straightaway, free and clear by 5 car lengths over Pete Vander Wees, Greg.
Here they come off of corner 4. Checkers go in the air. The win and the championship unofficially go to Lane Zardo.
Pete Vander Wees second, Garrett Temersma rounding out the top 3. Then is Jason Parker, Andrew Ferreira in the 9, Trevor Culver in the number 1, finishing 6th, followed by Ryan Dyson, Carson Nagy, Dwayne Baker, and Sean Chenoweth, rounding out the top 10.
A lot of different storylines in that one, Adam. It was 50 laps, and things changed, it seemed, every 10 laps. There was some different storyline that played out so much that we probably couldn't remember what happened in the first 10 laps. It was interesting for sure, but Lane Zardo did exactly what he needed to do. He didn't just race to get the championship. He raced for the win, and the championship took care of itself.
You said a mouthful there, Greg, and I agree with all of it. Clinton Jeffrey is on the scene as Pete Vander Wees in the 7 car.
Well, Adam, we're going to have a quick word with our 2nd and 3rd place, and then we'll get in with Lane Zardo, the winner and champion unofficially here tonight. And we'll get back to you as soon as we are ready down here.
How about the rally there by Garrett Temersma to get back up into the top 3? He was spun early on in this race and worked it back to a podium finish. Fast race car all season for that Wave Freight Ford Mustang.
Yeah, sure was. They've got to be pretty pleased there as these drivers. It was only 50 laps, but I'll bet you they're plenty tired as Pete Vander Wees getting the gear off. He throws his hat on. He's climbing out of the car. Clinton Jeffrey, take it away.
Pete, solid run here tonight. Can you be satisfied with 2nd?
Well, you know what, I mean, we still had a brake issue. I was pumping the brakes up, and as much as I had to try and keep the car underneath of me, and you know what, it's unfortunate. We had a fast car to rate tonight, and congratulate Zane and the boys, and they had a good run, and at the end of the day, it is what it is, and that's racing, and I've been doing this a long while. Haven't done it for the last 12 years, but I've been doing it for 20 years before that, so I'll take it. I mean, at the end of the day, I just want to thank everybody up in the stands for coming out. Want to thank Russ Erlin for everything that he does here for Delaware, the Qwick Wick guys, all them, you guys here at G-Force, everybody at APC, Epic, all my sponsors, all my crew, my family, everybody. It was a great day and a great weekend. We had a fun year, and hopefully we'll be back next year.
Thanks, Pete. Pete Vander Wees. We'll get over here and get in with Garrett Temersma. Garrett, 3rd today, not really where you wanted to be, but a solid bounce back. Can you be pleased with 3rd tonight?
You know what? I really wanted to win really bad, but 3rd place I'm ecstatic with. I've only ever been here once in my life, and I think I got 40 laps in the spring. We had a problem with the car, and we couldn't finish the race. We were out at like lap 20, but you know what? This place is so much fun, and I love coming here. And I'm so happy we finished 3rd. I mean, we finished third, first, third the last 4 weeks in the Qwick Wick series. This whole series has been a blast. It's the best thing I've ever been a part of. I have nothing but praise for them, APC, Qwick Wick. I don't know who else to thank except my sponsors. I've mentioned them quite a bit, but good racing, man. I'm so happy to be here. I'm looking forward to next year.
There you have it. Garrett Tamiersma, third place. We'll get over here and get ready to talk to our champion and our winner here. Are you fans ready to see your champion here tonight? It's official, guys. He's ready to come out. Here he comes. Lane Zardo out of the car, ladies and gentlemen. And we'll get down there and get a word with him in just a moment. He gets it done, picks up the trip to Costa Rica, picks up the big trophy, gets the crowd dive here. Come on around, Lane. We want to talk to you here, and the fans want to hear from you. He'll get in there. Dave Lloyd will present him with a handshake and everything they need to know. That's your winner's first place trophy. Time to give him the trophy. Here he is. Frank and Dave in from Qwick Wick to present the first ever championship trophy to Lane Zardo. How about it for your champion, ladies and gentlemen? Make some noise. You're going to hold it up, and then we'll get a word with him here. Lane, what a drive here today. You had to do everything right to get this one in. You had to win it. You needed help from the other drivers to have some bad luck. The racing gods were on your side, and you got it done, Lane. You've been the fastest super stock in the province. This is kind of deserving tonight. Congrats.
Yeah, you know, and even coming back from a little bit of a deficit in the points, it makes it feel a lot much better. We had a fast car all day, and then as we were trying to grind in the feature, I started overdriving the car, and my spotter Chad Corcoran kept banging it in my head, do not overdrive corner one. And once we kind of settled down after about 3/4 of the way, luck kind of started playing in our favor, and saw a few opportunities, and we were able to bring it home.
Congrats, Lane. Amazing job. Anything else you want to add to this one before we cap it off?
Yeah, I know. Through this whole season, I got to thank Bester Forest Products, Can Do Homes, Shelby Roofing, ACR Performance. I got to thank Andy Schmidt. I got to thank the boys at the shop. I got to thank Brad Whittle, Kenny Grubb, Chuck Dorr, Dylan Murray. I don't know, this is just such an unreal feeling. I'm kind of... Normally I can't shut up, but I can't think of anything else to say, to be honest.
You said it all on the track. Lane Zardo, your champion and feature winner here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Adam and Greg, let's wrap up the Super Stocks.
Adam will be back tomorrow night for some more drama, the APC series here on GeForce TV. Before we close things out, should be a good one.
If you want to watch the NASCAR Pinty series, switch over to the TSN Go app or tsn.ca for those of you in the stands. We still got a hell of a show yet to go.
On behalf of Clinton Jeffrey, Adam Ross, I'm Greg Kelden saying so long from Delaware Speedway. We'll see you tomorrow night here on GeForce TV. Copyrighted broadcast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of GeForce TV. GeForce TV would like to thank you for your support and for watching today's broadcast.